Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Do you like comic books?
No.
Do you like comic book movies?
Yes.
Good, because we're going to talk a lot about comic book movies.
What? But why?
Because San Diego Comic-Con happened this weekend, and that erupted and eclipsed all video game news.
I feel like this is the biggest movie nerd announcement drop for films ever, like in a day.
No.
They announced like 10 movies.
No, they didn't. They announced like 10 things,
Okay.
but like half of those things are TV shows.
They tricked us.
They tricked you.
They also announced the worst logo I've ever seen. That Loki one.
Oh, is that the one that bugs you?
Oh, ooh, I don't like it.
Well, in any case,
It's 4 different shittier logos
we'll get there.
mashed together into one.
We'll get there.
Hey, Wooly, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I am good.
Okay.
I feel good. Hey, man. Fuck all this shit. Tell me about Race Wars. You finally went and did it, huh?
Synthwave, Cars, Redline, Pinout. It's a good. It's me and Reggie and Min. We play racing games sometimes.
Yeah.
And we play them competitively.
It's like a battle
It's
between you.
Exactly. So the race with our cars also has like a war
Yeah.
dynamic.
And you're
between
going
us.
fast, so it's a race.
That's correct. The pulling the trigger on that one is really funny because obviously that's been floating around for a while.
I've been hearing you. I remember hearing you say that the first time like 4.5 years ago.
I've been waiting to pull the trigger on that one for a while, but the amount of people that right off the bat are like, no, I get the joke, and I think this is a bad idea. Is very, very different. There's a lot of people that are just like,
Good joke. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Bad joke.
Maybe, and then of course the clip from Whitest Kids You Know,
Yeah.
with the guy with the bat going,
Race war.
come on,
Come on.
hey, let's go, come.
No, man. Come on, race war.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's going down. That's the new show. That's what's happening. Good stuff.
But more importantly than that, there's a new Volta animation to go with it.
Yeah, I mean it's not new. That's the thing. It's actually super old.
Really?
But, so I mean the animation. Okay, there was an original version of it that's really old. And then it's been
Re-raced.
Yeah, it's been updated and changed a little bit. And the other thing too is like the original one was made back at a time when he was also kind of like, I've gotten so much better now. So he's also a bit like, right,
Every time I talk to Volta about animation, I'm like, you're the greatest. It's unbelievable. And he's like, I don't know, man. This last one I did was pretty garbage. And I'm like, you're like a studio.
Yeah. So this was like his Redline inspired take on cool synthwave car racing with me and the guys on Woolly Versus. But the style was like from 2 years ago when he like actually set everything up. So now it's kind of just like, okay, this is the bare minimum I'm willing to put out. But next time around, he would probably have modeled 3D cars, like a 2-snack style nonsense run, So, God bless. Yeah, that's really fun. It's a new show on Woolly Versus. If you're wondering what it is, people are going, what is
Racing games are good.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And so, that was what we did over. If I'm gonna, take the baton right there, and
that was CTR that you did the first time.
We did CTR. We did Crash Team Racing, and as expected, the Crash Team Racing Bandicoot heads came out, and we're all, very much like, fuck yeah! Oh god, they don't know how to play. Oh shit, they've never played it before. I can't watch this video. And there's people that love and fiend that game. I talked about it in the actual video. It's like it's an alternate reality path from everyone I know that played Mario Kart.
I think CTR is the first game that I told people I hated just so that the people who liked it would shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because I know it's a good game. You guys like a good game. But from Mario Kart 64 onwards,
Yeah.
every time one came out, there was just this fucking eldritch droning in the background of, yeah, but CTR though.
Yeah.
It's like, shut up. That game is dead, man. I guess not.
Turns out it's really fun. It feels good, and it took a minute to get used to the new drifting boosting system, but it was fun. Had a good time with it. Talked about a little bit about that last week, actually. And then I also talked about TSR, of course, which you know, I barely remembered stood for Team Sonic Racing because
the fantasy company.
Yeah, well, that's the second TSR in my brain.
Oh, what's the first?
The first TSR in my brain, anytime someone says it, is Full Metal Panic: The Second Raid.
Okay.
One of my favorite animes.
Is that the one with Zabumafu or whatever?
Fumofu is the season before that.
I just realized that's the fucking lemur on the kids' TV.
Yeah, Fumofu was fun high school hijinks, and then TSR was when shit got real.
Okay.
And shit got real in the best possible way. It was awesome. Of course, not only is that one of the best fucking seasons of anything I remember enjoying thoroughly, it was made by KyoAni. So
yes.
That's some garbage that was not fun to hear about this week, obviously. And, you know, yeah, that's one of those things you're just like, yep, that's the state of the world we live in.
It's so senselessly tragic that I don't even know what to say.
Exactly. It's one of those I'm just going to sit here and be defeated in how I feel as I read more and more about this, because
then you stop reading more and more about it because you're like, I can't. Very over and done this.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Yeah. That was incredibly upsetting, but
yeah.
Anyway, TSR.
Let's just TSR video games, huh?
What was I going to talk about?
About video games.
Yes, I was going to talk about the other racing game I played this week was Horizon Chase Turbo, which is free for PSN Plus users. And
I have never heard of this, so I struggle to look at the video.
Have you heard of Top Gear?
Yes, I have heard of Top Gear.
Have you played Top Gear?
I have heard you constantly refer to video games as Top Gear.
No, there's not a lot of Top Gear out there.
No, I mean last week you kept going. We were talking about racing games. You're
yes,
like,
I want Top Gear.
Your position on racing games is racing games are cool, but I really like Top Gear.
Yeah, because Top Gear doesn't feel.
Oh my God, that's just Top Gear.
Yeah.
That's just Top Gear.
Yeah, Horizon Chase Turbo, not Zero Dawn, mind you. It's 3D Top Gear. It doesn't. Top Gear doesn't feel like you're driving a car. It's not a racing simulator.
No, has nothing to do with cars.
It is a accelerate and decelerate and like dodge cars left and right.
Getting that Top Gear,
and then choose when you boost your nitro, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, felt really great. Went through that. Really enjoyed that proper. Like feeling that the seeing the sides of the road with the red and white checkers is really like just brings me right back to it. And it literally is a game that got the composer of the Top Gear games to make their soundtrack as well. And it actually has Top Gear music in it.
Wait, what? How do they get away with that?
I have no idea. However,
okay, fine. That's Top Gear.
Tecmo or Chemco or whatever the fuck they did. They got.
Did you say Chemco?
There was
That's a real company?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
They got the music of at least one or two tracks in that game, and goddamn if I didn't fucking keep singing it the whole time.
I feel like video games are unique in that they're the only medium I can think of where you go, oh yeah, that's just Top Gear. You don't read a poem and go, oh yeah, that's just Poe all the way.
Right.
Oh, that's Whitman.
Right.
But it's not Whitman. It's like, oh, it's like.
Yeah. No, I to me, Top Gear was also like, that's, I don't know if it's what I don't know if it's the first thing that pointed me towards Overclocked Remix, but it was the most definitive part of Overclocked Remix, was the Top Gear remixes.
Really?
That was the strongest thing for me with a bullet.
When
like,
the fuck
going and catching Mega Man X remixes was always fun, and going back and catching, like, Metroid stuff was fun, but for me, it was always about the Top Gear music, because that was originally, like, my favorite OST.
When the fuck did that happen for me? It just kind of...
I
just started listening to OST Remix.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Top Gear soundtrack was my favorite prior to Katamari's existence. You know, that's one of those, like, lifelong obsessions I've had. But yeah, the Horizon Chase Zero is really fun in that way, and feels the same, and has lots of, obviously, more car options and everything that you'd want from a modern feeling Top Gear. What it bothers me, what bothers me about it, though, is that it has a, like, very, very it has a modern unlock system that where you start out the game, and on a fresh save, you have options and one menu item, which is like a world tour sort of thing, where you pick race by race, and all the other types of modes or ways to drive are blocked off completely.
That's a little more than you would expect.
It's extreme, right? You don't even get different modes, and in addition to cars being locked, obviously, and maps being locked, of course, and then the upgrades for the cars being locked as well. So they make you unlock every single thing in the game that's not the first mode, first race.
Just like the good old days.
Yeah, it was really aggressive with that, you know? So I didn't like that. And it made me just kind of like, you know, I talk about it a little bit when we played in the video, but games should have a main menu, where if it's the type of game that has multiple modes, then you should offer those modes up right off the bat. What you should be unlocking is the content in those modes. So stages, characters, upgrades, you know, cosmetics, abilities, whatever. That's the type of stuff that you should be progressing and unlocking. But if there's a different way to play, you know, like a practice mode.
So the end should have its versus mode unlocked when you press start.
Exactly, right? Like,
even though that versus mode is terrible.
Don't lock practice mode or you know, battle mode or anything like that behind like a progression thing. It's the modes of your game, you know? If I want to play cards with you, that's a bad analogy.
That's bad.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna rip the cord on that one. But yeah, you want to have all the different ways to play your game up front, and then just let the unlockable content be what you do after that screen, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, though, once that all happens, once it's all there, which we got to play on Min's save because he unlocked everything. It was a blast. It was really, really fun. And it also has a weird thing of, like, once you upgrade your card, like, instead of having you go from 50 cc's to 100 cc's to 150 cc's in a Mario Kart analogy.
Yeah. You talking about Horizon or CTR?
I'm talking about Horizon.
Got it.
Right? You start out as the slowest cars, and then, you know, you upgrade your cars and they get faster.
Yeah.
So it's not that you pick a higher class of car.
No, it's more incremental, right?
Exactly. But once you do them, those are permanently on your car. You know, so there's a mode where you can go back to using a previous version, but it's only in that mode, right? You can't actually, so
it's weird.
It's a permanent change to that car on your save file.
Because I think back to something like, I'll say Need for Speed 4, and you'd unlock like the McLaren F1 at the end of the game as like the last car. And just like trying to play any of the early game tracks with that was unplayable because the acceleration was so fast. You'd like blow past every single turn into the wall. Yeah. And the ability of like, oh yeah, hey, I unlocked every upgrade for a car. Now the car goes too fast.
Yeah.
Is a weird situation.
You hit a turn and you let go of the gas completely. Just let it coast itself around the corner.
And then the moment is like, what, coasting isn't enough. Now I gotta break it. Yeah. Or I have to let go of the gas. That's not fun.
And all you really have to do is, ironically enough, emulate Top Gear by having you choose your engine and your different custom car parts after you pick your car, so that you can pick the slower one if you want, or the new upgraded one. Just unlock the choices to go higher, but don't take away the older ones, you know? Yeah, imagine if every time you got a better update to your pilot in Titanfall, like, it took away the older options.
Yeah, that'd be
So
bad.
Don't do that.
That'd be bad to do.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
But anyway, otherwise, very great game. And if you have PS Plus, you're not missing.
You just press the button.
You're
And then
missing out. Get the game.
The video game.
Get it. Also took a look at and finally played Ace Combat 7.
Dude, I marked the fuck out when I saw you were playing Ace Combat 7. Is this the first one you've actually put your hands on?
For more than a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played some of the earlier ones because my old roommate was obsessed with Ace Combat. So, like, I'd watch him play a lot, and I would, like, and I touched a bit of it back then, but really not much. And boy, did I get my ass blown out. Because I started playing it, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it feels a little bit like Afterburner Climax, which I love in the arcades. That's the you know.
Yeah, I played it. Yeah,
I was like,
it's a good game. It's unfortunately delisted from fucking the old platforms.
And I was enjoying that, and then everyone
I'm a little confused as to what you mean by it felt like Afterburner Climax.
Well, allow me to elaborate. As I was flying around and going like, okay, I'm getting used to the feel of it. Everyone goes, stop.
My eyes narrow.
Pause the game. Turn normal mode
off.
You bitch! And turn.
Oh, you shit!
And turn expert mode on.
You people! Oh, I hate it! Oh, man! I'm mentally typing so loud in my mind at you. They should not allow that. They should call that normal mode and baby poop his diaper mode.
I'm hearing what you're saying. I can't tell which side you're advocating right now because you're just.
Oh no, you turn that normal mode shit off. You turn fucking pitch.
Expert.
You pitch. You turn by turning the plane sideways and pressing down. God damn it. That's how you turn a plane.
Pitch and yaw.
Pitch, yaw, bank, etc. Blah blah blah.
Okay, so
you need to make minute adjustments. You hit those shoulder buttons.
So I didn't know that. I just started normal mode and normal difficulty go, and then it turned out that the default is normal mode is the new flying mode.
It is,
and the old flying mode is what it used to be.
I think them calling that normal mode, I don't know what they should call it, is actually a massive disservice to almost everybody who plays that game. Because flying a plane is weird as a movement function, and that's like half of what makes the game enjoyable is that you have to do this stuff while flying because it's too simple otherwise. It's really simple.
And guess what? Every other game that I've played that's a dogfighting game was that simple, right? So Star Fox, Aero Fighters Assault, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I've played it, but then there was that Macross game. There was the Xbox game Crimson Skies. Superman 64.
Technically.
Yeah, no, those are only like the dogfighting games that I remember playing are those ones, you know. And and I definitely don't remember needing to do the, you know, pitch and then turn.
Yeah.
You know, like it was very much hold left and you go left, hold right, you go right. So, turning that mode on. Oh yeah, even like I used to play a lot of X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Okay, but that was in space.
That was space.
There's no floor to worry about.
And that but that was also like just pick the direction you want to go in and now you're going that direction.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't have to. There was no banking at all.
Because like the more that I'm thinking about it, it's like your orientation to the ground being not intuitive is part of the thing.
X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and Wing Commander.
Yeah.
Same thing. No banking, right? So what happened here, obviously, was the moment that went on, I went, whoa! And then I proceeded to
It's hard and weird.
It was very hard and weird. And I spent the rest of that time having a really hard go.
Yeah.
So everyone saw me having a hard time getting used to that.
I saw Reggie and Min telling you, "Hey man, hold the button to see the missile path."
See the missile path.
And right into the ocean.
Yep.
That's common.
Yep.
Did you have the one where so there's 2 ways to 180. Sorry, there's 3 ways to 180, right? You can go horizontal and then do like a long turnaround. You can go
loop-de-loop.
You can invert and pull up and then re-invert so that you're going the other direction, or you can invert and go down and then re-invert close to the ground.
Okay.
That one is really good for bombing runs. It's also really good to see if you're able to tell how far below you the ground is.
Okay.
Because oftentimes I would just fucking go straight nose first into the fucking floor.
Yeah. Can you go 90 degrees so that your nose is facing like space?
Yeah, totally.
And then hold on, and then like brake, and then like let anything behind you pass you, and then correct yourself?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what that move is called, but that's really stylish.
What you can do is you can go as fast as you can to the sky, and then when you hit a certain altitude that you're familiar with, you can hit the brakes as hard as you can, and ideally you want to stall the plane so it actually just falls.
Post-stall maneuver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really, really hard. It's very difficult, and like I was getting 80 tips coming in at the same time, and I'm like, this is not helpful.
You don't need those.
This is not helpful. I can't fly the plane.
The tip is play more Ace Combat.
Exactly, right? And it felt like there was just no, do it, get it now. Get it now in this shot. And I'm like, I'm not good.
It's really funny.
I'm sucking at this.
Because in my mind, I look at Ace Combat as the arcade game.
Yeah.
Of that shit. Because the simulators are another universe.
Of course. And back in the day, Ace Combat used to be the simulator.
Right.
And the bullshit I'm talking about, Star Fox and whatnot.
It sits perfectly in the middle of both.
Yeah.
There's enough sim to like, no, flying a plane is a weird activity that's not natural.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
Yeah. And as I was I just remember seeing like it's just like, stop making excuses. I'm like, I'm not making excuses. I'm garbage. I'm explaining why I'm trash.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not trash.
Did you get to I think it's the 4th or 5th mission where you have to thread the needle through the...
No.
Okay. So
Dude, I made it out of the tutorial mission.
So if I would highly recommend you keep playing it. It's great. That is not only like Ace Combat's great, that is one of the best Ace Combat games. It's awesome. But there are a couple missions where you have to thread the needle through canyons and defense grids.
Yeah, lightning striking.
Threading the needle when turning is an ordeal is hard as shit. But then, I mean, when you pass through when it clicks and suddenly you're Maverick. It will click, and you will be Maverick. And then new planes will have minute differences in acceleration or anti-stall, and you'll be and then when you get to the end of the game and you unlock the fucking TIE fighter, basically, and you're able to do all sorts of crazy plane shit that you didn't think you'd be able to do in the game. It's awesome.
I made it out of the tutorial, and then the game crashed.
It crashed?
It crashed.
You playing on PC?
Yeah.
Fucking...
Yeah.
What?
However, I then went back in and played some multiplayer, and
Multiplayer's mean.
That was just, it was not a mistake because I wanted to know.
It's mean.
And what I wanted to know is what I found out. There is no game to be found for me there, at least not yet.
There are some killers in there, man.
Dude, like the entire match is just trying to dodge the missiles by going crazy.
For you and me, it is.
And I'm like, when am I even supposed to have a half second to think about going on the offense?
And then you look at this leaderboard, and the guy at number 1 has killed 8 people in the time that you were doing that.
Like, I'm just rolling around, like, because you just try to break off like crazy.
Yeah,
in any direction you can. And I'm just breaking off, and then I'm breaking off, and then beep, 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 and I'm just like,
I legitimately
where's the offense?
don't know how
I'm
people are consistently maneuvering around me or behind. It's like
so what's happening there is you're eating that full screen mix up with Morrigan's shit coming at you.
7 different players at once,
and you're just holding down back. And you're like, can I attack? Nope, no, you can't. Okay, all right, I'm gonna hold down back, and nope. Took the hit. Okay, I'm gonna jump here. Okay, I jumped there. And I'm back in the corner. She teleported.
I absolutely love the way the versus matches start in that game's versus mode, now that I think of it, where it's 8 players about 10 kilometers away from each other,
flying,
and they're all pointed at the center in a semicircle, in a big circle, and it's like, if you all just keep going straight, you will all just crash into each other.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy, man, oh man, is that a challenge.
I'm so happy that apparently that game did very well, like very well. I'm so happy because that's the only game in town for this shit.
Tom Clancy's Hawks didn't quite take over.
I mentioned that during my stream, and people were like, "What the fuck is that? What are you talking about?" People don't even remember that game exists.
HAWX, guys, come on.
Yeah, HAWX, Tom Clancy's Hawks. It had a cool drifting mechanic, but that's it.
Yeah, I don't like, I could immediately feel how much of a worm on the ground I was in this. Like, the stratosphere is the beginning kind of limit, you know? Like,
I mean, I've played and beaten 4 of the 7, I think. You should go look at clips from that stream. Like, into the ground I go, over and over and over and over, and into the wall, and like, it's hard.
Yeah. And like, you know, the one thing that you always do because that's the thing too, is like, because Min was saying, like, he prefers like first person view for like immersive purposes.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
I hate it. I want to see my plane. I want to see
I want a cool plane.
I want to see the cool thing in the video game that I'm playing. Yeah. Always, number one. But ultimately, then it just comes down to like tracing, right? Tracing your cursor over your thing. So use bullets, for example.
Bullets is tough. It's remarkably tough.
It's insanely hard. It's so hard. They're like, yeah, don't forget your bullets. And I'm like, nah. How about I'm going to forget those bullets?
You have to aim for the lead.
Holy
on the bullet.
Fuck. Man. For a couple hits, just shoot the missile.
Shoot the missile.
Like, wow, is that
missile?
Yeah. And in back, you know, and like,
super hard.
I'm trying to think about, and I was trying to treat it like Star Wars when you have your blasters.
Yeah, no,
and it's not that.
Hell no.
It is so not that, you know. And the other thing too is, so X-Wing games always had my favorite button, and it was probably maybe just made things easier, but it was match speed with target, right? There was because you'd throttle from 1 to 9.
Yeah.
And then you know, but like when you pick a target and you're going after them, it's really important to match speed with them to then actually fight properly and then drop your throttle back down or back up.
Yeah.
Nah.
I have had situations
not in this game
where I'm trying to catch up to a plane and I don't realize till too late they're at like a tangent. They're not actually going straight according to my direction.
Yeah.
And so you go to, I'm gonna hit them with the missiles, and you just fucking fly right past them.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly. So, I felt the fucking challenge there. That looks like, that felt like 50 hours to start feeling okay about it.
No, that's exaggerated. I'd say, I don't know, a couple.
Yeah,
like 3 or 4
to start feeling okay about it. Okay.
That game eases you in that the first one is you're crazy.
Hold on, I'm not talking about like beating story mode. I mean playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, you said multiplayer?
Like
You're still talking about multiplayer?
Well,
not just in general flying?
I mean, in general flying, I'm sure you can get through single player.
I don't know multiplayer.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
No. I'm throwing out those numbers to try and like.
Oh, I don't know. Those people are killers, and they were born killers.
Born in the cockpit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not even put a number on that. It's too late.
Yeah. It is exactly.
It's far too late.
Yeah. I'm familiar with this feeling for sure. But I mean, yeah, you can get through the story mode certainly. You know, why not?
Because the way the mission structure works is the first one is you're the highest off the ground you are in any mission in the first one, and a couple missions in, there's no enemies for nearly the entire mission, and it's literally just steer the plane through.
Well, the first mission I had to take off.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what I mean is like the combat area.
Yeah.
There's no ground targets, so you are way up there. Ground targets are hard because if you don't aim correctly and early enough and pull up, you die.
You also have to make sure you go with air-to-ground missiles.
Yeah. If you got them.
Yeah.
And bombing requires you to judge trajectories. It's like...
Yeah. Also, bullets are limited. So... Yeah. Well, I think it depends on the mode you're on.
It's weird because they're like, bullets are limited, obviously. And so are missiles. But like a real plane has... 2 or 4.
Yeah.
Not 88.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or fucking 300 or
no, the video game needs.
It would not be fun.
The video game needs to be fun. The
Yeah.
video game needs to be
So
fun.
taking off is easy, landing is hard, and midair refueling, which is another like little bonus mission in there, is absurd.
Must feel good when you're crushing it though.
Yeah. When you're crushing it, it's the best, and then you stop crushing it, and you try to fucking weave between the skyscrapers.
Yeah.
And you're like, boom.
I mean, one of the first kills I got, I did the thing where you fly right past the explosion.
Oh, that's good.
And I felt good about that, and to the point where I was like, wait, is there even collision on that? And then the next time, there certainly was.
There's 100%
certainly
collision.
Was. Yeah.
If you're lined up dead on, it's an easy way to kill yourself.
So, Chuck Yeager's Air Combat, this is not.
No.
Hey there, I'm Chuck Yeager.
How's the music?
Oh, it was nice in the little bit I heard, but
you did the first mission
tutorial and then multiplayer. Didn't hear any of the anthems because I know that Ace Combat has anthems, but I didn't get to any of them yet.
Hey, what color's the sky?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't remember?
I didn't get there. Or
you
maybe I did.
It's the opening cutscene.
I don't remember. I just saw Pilot Girl.
Yeah.
Pilot Girl.
Mechanic Girl.
Oh, excuse me.
But
she was in a cockpit.
Not for the rest of the game. She's not.
What?
Yeah.
The cutscene showed her getting in the cockpit.
Yeah, and then it showed her getting her ass shot down.
Wow. Okay.
It's deep dark blue.
All right.
Come on, it's too sincere.
Yeah, and we were fucking talking over it because as LPs do. So I kind of must have missed that. Sorry.
Voice acting is a weird mix of.
We were trying to figure out whether Erugia was the America or whether
they're both America. They're neither America.
The other one.
The Belkans are dicks. That's all you need to know. Belka, assholes.
And Oceania. In the space elevator.
Dude, Ace Combat and Front Mission and those games that have pseudo real world countries analogs, but give them fucked up names that I can't remember.
I mean, one of them had the stars and the patriotic symbol, but looked like.
I straight up could not remember the name of the country I was fighting all the way to the final mission.
One of them had a White House logo that wasn't the White House.
It wasn't the White House.
And the other one had big stars, but they were red stars.
Which one has the robot planes? The bad one.
The one with the shipping containers.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Man, the idea of a bunch of dudes fucking Ziggy down at the docks moving some shipping containers around.
Yeah, these are planes.
And then they open up and fucking fly out wow. That's nutty. Anyway, Ace Combat.
It's a good game.
Yep. Played a bit of that. Started a Plague Tale. Got a good. Got through the, let's say, opening sequence and Why are you looking at
I'm
me that way?
I'm just trying to figure out what you mean by opening sequence.
Okay.
I'm just like, because there are like 3 or 4 levels that could
Yes.
be considered that.
Yeah. So I played it for an hour, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking stop until I see the rats. I need to know. And
rats.
then we got to them, and then we got through the challenge of that, like, first.
Like in the church?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you make it out. You break for daylight.
Yeah.
That's
rats.
That's what I did. Yeah.
There's some rats.
So that thing takes its time, like, setting up what's going on. Also, we played in French, which was really fun.
Mm-hmm. Was it good?
It was very good.
I'm glad.
It was very good. It was very Paris.
I when I was playing it in English, I was incredibly impressed at the cast mostly being clearly French actors speaking English.
Oh, yeah? Were they, like, accented?
Yes. They're heavily accented in some cases.
Okay. Well, I really enjoyed hearing it in the actual French that, you'd expect. And they're using older words, too.
That's nice. I like
So, yeah, it was really on point. And, of course, having 2 francophones with me, like, they were like, yeah, no, this is doing wonders for the mood. So, it really helps because I'm also coming off of watching and enjoying Chernobyl, which I'll say in brief is a very good show. Really, really good. I'll get to it later. But the weirdest thing about it is the fucking British accents. It's
British
super
accents
weird.
have become shorthand for English foreign, and
Yes.
it's very bizarre.
And you're watching this show, which, again, I highly recommend it. Check it out. It's good. I now know, actually, how a nuclear reactor works. Like,
Badly.
very, very, very badly. But I remember trying to wiki dive that some time ago, and then I tried again once the show started, and then there's a point in the show where, like, it is required that we explain to you
How this reactor works.
how this works.
Because you need to know why it blew up.
And the explanation was very, very good. And I'm like, for the first time, feel like I understand it. I might not. I probably don't actually understand it. However, I understand the loosest, rawest for dummies version, which is better than
the for
the
dummies
not at all I
version of a
used to
nuclear
have.
reactor ends up being laughably simple. You heat the water make the steam. It's a steam engine.
Go.
It's a fucking steam
but don't
engine.
let it get not too hot.
But you use rods that are radioactive to make the water hot instead of cold.
Not too hot. You gotta.
Yeah, because if it's too hot, it actually just self-sustains and melts right through your fucking floor.
Yes. So obviously that the idea of it being like unlike any other fuel source where you have to like start at 0 and get up to 5.
Yeah.
This starts at 10 and you have to drop it down to 5 and then keep it there.
And if you don't keep it there,
then you get Chernobyl.
Yeah.
So really good. British accent's weird.
Weird. Enemy at the Gates was the same fucking thing. And all I can think of is they picked a bunch of actors, and they're like, "Well, none of them can do Russian accents convincingly."
I think it's more like people hate subtitles. They don't want to read, and I hate that.
I hate that also
because God damn it, just fucking read.
Give them Russian accents though. Why do they not have Russian accents?
Just get actual Russians.
But like Chernobyl is.
I don't want English speakers with Russian accents. I want Russian people speaking in Russian.
Like it is a Soviet story. It's
like fucking just Tekken the situation. The language you hear is the language they speak.
Hey, guess what?
And I can read a fucking subtitle. Like I don't know, man.
Readings for dorks.
Maybe we're just conditioned to, after watching so much anime.
We've watched a lot of anime. Well,
but
a lot of people haven't watched any anime.
I know, but like the feeling of like I hate reading while I'm watching the thing is like it's such a.
It reminds me of.
So you'd rather it sound weird and shitty?
It reminds me
because you don't want to read.
Inglorious Bastards, and how that was like an ongoing massive complaint for its entire theater
Ukrainian.
Yeah. It's in Pripyat.
Yes.
In the Ukraine. But so the weirdest thing is that a lot of Ukrainians actually speak Russian because back in the day it used to be Russia, and now it's Russia. Right. It's a whole thing. But what the fuck was I talking about? It's gone. Anime? Nah.
Anime subtitles, weird.
Inglorious Bastards. That movie is aggressive about not giving a fuck about the fact that you don't speak the 5 languages happening in that movie. And our villain speaks all of these, every single fucking language in the movie. He speaks effortlessly because Christoph Waltz is amazing. And like I want to say like half or more of the movie is subtitles.
And that's fine.
Yeah, but you didn't tell me there was going to be words.
Yeah. I'd rather the movie sound worse because I don't want to read.
There you go.
Super lame.
Yeah.
That sucks. Anyway, so but beyond that, Chernobyl is a fun watch.
Is it a fun watch? I spoke to Clemps about this exact topic on the podcast that is on Coffee with Clemps. Check it out this week. And the exact same phrase happened where he said it was a fun watch, and I went, "Is it a fun watch?"
It is a proper like, especially because I know you know a lot about it already, because you used to talk about Chernobyl a lot.
It's fascinating.
10 years ago.
It's the most fascinating thing that's ever happened.
Yeah. But you were that guy. That would just
absolutely
just be like, hey, what's going on? We're getting McDonald's. All right, yo. So Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, like. Yeah, Pat. Yeah, and you're like, no, but
no, dude. I was reading all about last night. I need to talk to somebody.
But the Red Forest, though, yeah.
Red Forest isn't in that show, is it?
No,
damn it.
But
it's super cool.
I mean, there's
maybe
there's shots of stuff.
Maybe the sequel.
Oh yeah. I mean, they do actually show. There actually is a moment where they show something, but anyway, it is an interesting watch. Also, you're watching people. Like, you want to know, a lot of it is you want to know, like, how accurate this is versus how much they're taking liberties, you know?
As good as you would expect.
And then at the end, they tell you exactly where they took liberties.
Oh, that's really nice.
And what the accuracies were.
That's really good.
But there's definitely parts where you're like, that is a cartoonishly evil asshole.
This is the exact same complaint Clem's had.
And could it even be possible that is where you're going to point the finger?
They rolled about a dozen bureaucratic do-nothings into a couple people.
I mean, they do that in a clear way that they explain at the end for, like, the scientists. But for this, like, you really just created a son of a bitch to take that flack, you know? And it's wild how... Like, there's almost a mustache twirl, you know, in how much it's like, fuck you and fuck the protocol, you know? But beyond that, though, it does a really interesting and good job at, like, just kind of getting across, like, how fucking terrifying this entire thing is and how little control we have over it.
It's the equivalent of the world's biggest grease fire, and you tell somebody to go throw water on it.
But
just go throw water on it.
But you put that in the one place, not the one place, but in the country that has the most pride and the most to lose out of admitting that they fucked up.
Yeah.
Because straight up, we would rather everyone eat it than tell you what's going on because we lose face. And you're like, but everyone's going to be dead. It's like, yeah, but no, also, our pride, though.
I don't know how much they go into it, but in the international scene at the time, there was no saving face on it.
Yeah.
Because Europe was like, what the fuck is this radioactive-ass cloud? What the fuck is that?
Switzerland was like, anybody know what's going on? Let's make some calls. And they called everyone, and everyone's like, we don't know what's going on.
Some weird fucking energy gas in the air.
And then Chernobyl didn't answer the phone, and they're like, huh.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
And that's how that goes.
The Ruskies did it again.
You know, like, it's like, fuck off. That's the worst part. It's like, we know that, like, there's a lot of, like, secrecy in that, especially in that time, in that place, USSR and all that.
Cold War.
But it's like, that is the peak of just, like, this is, how bad is that? No. More importantly, our pride, though. And that becomes a lot of...
It's like, bro, we can smell it. We can smell it from here.
Yeah. So it's interesting because like part of the disaster and the way it unfolded is like cultural.
Yeah.
And it talks about that a little bit as well. So anyway, very cool.
As a result of the Chernobyl TV series, they're going to start doing tours to Chernobyl, which...
Start?
Well, they're going to kick them up.
There is already tons of illegal tours going in. And because they're
I think I'm talking about official things I was saying.
Oh, because unofficially there's tons of people that break in and they basically have their meters that are like, yeah, it's all faded away. You're fine. You're safe. Let's go check out this pile of coats.
You're gonna see a YouTuber or an Instagram person just walk into a pocket. I should clarify, because the way radiation works, it works like dust, and so there are pockets in what seem to be safe buildings that have like instantaneously lethal amounts of rads. All you gotta do is walk into that corner that faces a certain direction, and poof.
We already have the Instagram photos of like models in their like stylish radiation suits taking their beauty shots.
That's not good.
Just get closer to that Ferris wheel.
Don't.
Just get closer. Get on
that
the Ferris wheel.
Is iconic, but it's also like, don't go anywhere near it. It is the most deadly item in that area because metal soaks it up real good.
Yeah, we're get out of here, stalker.
Now you are primed for everything ever made by 4A Games.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I did an evaluation on the.
There's a fucking aesthetic to Russian nuclear architecture.
Yeah. I mean, hey, though, that new sarcophagus looks pretty sick.
It looks cool. The dome.
The dome.
Oh, the dome's cool.
Dome looks good. All faith in the dome. Big faith. Yeah.
This is gonna be a problem, fucking forever.
For a couple hundred years.
Forever.
For a couple hundred years.
The world ends when I die.
Eventually, it'll be low enough that you can start getting in and addressing the bigger problems. But for now, that's just a no-go. That's a don't do it.
It's a big radioactive fucking hunk of metal down there that's gonna be... Like, it's like nuclear. It's more nuclear than the surface of the fucking sun down there.
Yeah. Like, the other thing, too, and, like, I know you knew about this, but it's like... There's a part of it where you're watching the story of how this all went down, and you're kind of like, you're seeing people that are like, well, time to go in to the water and turn the valves and get that shit emptied, because if we don't, that's the big death for the entire continent.
Yeah.
Let's go. And you're watching people do shit like that, or like miners doing their fucking due diligence, digging underneath the reactor and shit, and you're like, why don't we know the names of these people? Like, why is there... Why do I...
Why.
You know? Yeah, I know why. And we find out, of course. But it's like... That's the type of shit where you're like, oh, are we looking at actual world-saving heroes right now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that looks like. It's not a movie. It's not Bruce Willis on an asteroid.
It's just a guy going to work knowing he's super gonna die.
It's not Bruce Willis in Armageddon, you know? It's that dude.
So you know,
going into the death water.
I don't know if
to save the world.
If they went over it, but there's a batch of people that I have slightly more sympathy for than the miners and the water guys, because those guys, they knew. Even if they didn't know, they knew, right?
The people that were lied to?
No, it's the people that thought they were going to be safe. There's a specific batch of people who all died horribly from radiation poisoning. It's the firefighters who used helicopters.
The first responders.
No. It's the guys who are flying those planes that dump water onto the reactor.
And the sandbags.
Right?
Yeah.
That didn't realize that they weren't high enough.
Don't fly over the core.
They were so high over the thing, and it wasn't high enough. Fuck, man.
Can't do it.
That sucks.
Can't do it. Yeah. So...
it sucks. Ooh. Also, radiation poisoning, bad way to go.
Oh, you get watch it.
I don't need to.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, it would still be like educational.
I saw Stargate SG-1 when Daniel touched that orb and got the radiation poisoning.
It's an educational one.
Then he ascended, so it was a whole thing.
Yeah. Like, and then you got to follow like some of these side stories where it's just like, hey, what's your unit up to, soldier? Oh, we're the guys that go and shoot all the dogs because they gotta go.
Because they're poison.
And you're like the wild, like, no, wild, but also mostly the domesticated ones that are hungry that are gonna come up to you because they want some food and everyone's been gone for a long time. Yeah, that's your job. Go do it. Cool? Yeah, you know, so...
Well, because at the time, animals were turning into bombs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
The real bark busters.
Oh.
The real pup snuffers coming out to save the world. Do what you got to do for king and country. Anyway, man. Yeah, Chernobyl was great. That was a side.
Sounds depressing.
Yeah. That was actually a side note off of
Ace
Plague Tale, which was
Plague
really
Tale.
good.
Yes.
I also enjoyed what was going on with that. There's a clear. There's two things though. One, there's that moment. There's like the intro where everything's going down, and you're like, oh my god, old France, horrible.
Yeah.
Right. Shit's crazy. But two things are: one, there's a moment where your main character changes clothes and puts on the video game clothes.
Puts on the main character outfit.
And you go, here's the
It's got the leather armor thing on the shoulder.
And you're like, no one looked this cool back then. I don't care. No one did.
No, shut up.
You know, even if you're nobility.
No, you shut
You
up.
know, get out of here with that. You look too cool. And then the second thing, well, third thing actually. God, I went from like being like, so far, this little stupid boy, so far so good. He's all right.
Yeah.
He's just being a little boy, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And then in one cutscene.
You mean the cutscene where she puts the clothes on and it's the cutscene right afterwards?
In one moment.
So
I'm like, I want him gone.
I feel
Just feed him to the rats.
I feel like they did a really good job with the kid overall, because that kid is like 5. That kid is really young. Like when it's 10-year-olds, they have more of a brain. That kid's like just out of being a toddler.
But he doesn't look that size. He looks like the size of someone who's maybe 8.
No, he's like 5, man. You're confused because the girl you're playing as is short and young.
I read him as like 8 or 9, and I read the girl as like 13.
No, the girl's like 15 and the kid's like 5.
Okay.
Like he is a baby child.
Okay. Okay.
Also, that's one of the only times that ever happens, and it is about things that your character should have done.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
But that particular moment is like the one time where you're like, come on. Really?
And the one thing that I was really happy about was based on the way they set up the threat in Plague Tale. Like, I'm like, I don't want a bunch of normal rats to just come get me. I want the fucking Zerg. Right? And then the way they introduce the fucking rats, I mean, it's like, dude, it's the first hour of the game.
Yeah,
but the church candles go out, and then you cut to dark and you hear the noise, and then they swarm in like the actual fucking Zerg.
Yeah.
And you go, fuck yes.
The rat physics and look in that game is like amazing.
I want rat demons nonsense.
Well,
and that's what you get.
how much did you pay attention to the rat warren that you have to crawl through during that one little segment where the walls have been turned into the alien hive?
Exactly.
I'm gonna be very blunt with you, Wooly. That game takes some historical liberties. Some significant historical liberties.
I would assume
It fucking goes places, okay?
Yeah. Like the outing of the candles in the church is like, that is exactly what I wanted out of that. Like I was like, so it was, everything was so realistic up to that point that I was like,
Yeah,
nah.
it's like grimy realist. It's like dirty, and it's like, oh man.
And I'm like, nah, swerve it, and they fucking swerve it, and the rats come, and I'm like, yeah, these are power demon rats.
They have glowing red eyes, don't they?
They don't.
Okay,
but,
that's what I remember in my head.
but they don't. But like, there's a part where it's like there is a table and like a safety door that you get to, and in the sliver of a shadow that is the table and the light source, if you take one step into that, they pull you in. Like it is. It's not even a full shadow cast. It is literally just the darkness of the table.
Oh yeah.
You know, is enough for you to be in forever. It's pitch black. Yeah. It's the Riddick world.
Yeah, but rats.
Yep.
I had somebody describe rats to me during that stream as land piranhas.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's because rats can eat like something like half of their body weight a day. And if there are enough rats, yeah, they can totally do to you what they did to that guy.
I mean, they don't, but
They don't.
if they were all like juiced up to 10.
They don't act with a singular mind.
No, with purpose. Yeah, they don't move with purpose and hunt the flesh. You know, usually they kind of just want to get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, here we are, right? And like literally, like you're fucking just using fire to be like, ha! Back, you foul beast!
Ha! You guys are stupid. You don't like fire.
And it's like they're just a texture. It's a moving texture
made out of a bunch of models. It's very impressive.
The tech, actually, we read about it while we were going. Like the models out further into the draw distance are not even animated.
Yeah,
but it still creates the illusion.
It sure does. Because, like, I don't know if you can believe this, but the farther you get into the game, the more rats you see. And it like. There's a couple levels in which you are like, there is an astonishing amount of rats on this screen right now.
Yeah. So you can go watch that New York documentary about rats.
Yeah, stealing pizzas.
Or you can fucking play Plague Tale.
You should finish that. The game's excellent.
Yeah.
Top to bottom.
Oh, yeah, I got that feeling.
Also, it's gorgeous. Like, it's fucking beautiful. Like, the lighting and the character, like, it's awesome looking.
So yeah, to take a look at me and trying out all of the above, you can check out Wooly Versus. Those videos will be coming out shortly. And yeah, that was Horizon Chase Turbo, Plague Tale, Ace Combat 7, and then of course Bayonetta continues. And boy, the rust is in effect.
It's bad, huh?
The rust is really bad.
Also, Bayo 1 has weird things that I don't remember.
It does. And I ate it really hard in some embarrassing places. And some stuff was like, oh, that was dumb. I forgot about that. That happened a couple times.
There's a couple times where I remember every time I replay the game, I die instantly.
Yeah. There's some instant kill at QTEs where you just fail the QTE and you die.
Yep.
And then there's some enemies where it's like, you can't attack them right now.
Just don't.
You just have to sit and wait. And I go, fuck. Yeah, so Bayo 1 did have some things they had to work out in 2 that I forgot about.
Yeah.
But I'm going to practice up and get better, because I remember, to be honest, all the character action games we were afraid to play for this exact reason.
Yeah.
It took, like, they all started bad and then got better towards the end.
Yeah.
But there was a warm-up period, and boy, am I feeling that now for sure, you know? So that continues on Wooly Versus as well. And the last thing I want to say is this weekend I'm going to be in Hamilton at Con Bravo, where I will...
Scenic Hamilton!
Yes. Where I will be, doing the usual hangouts and stuff. So come on down if you want to hang and talk, shoot the shit, play some games, do the thing. But I'm also going to be debuting an idea that I'm really excited about, because I want to do more with it, but this is going to be in its infancy, in its first form. JoJo Jeopardy.
Okay.
JoJo Pretty. Whatever you want to... We're doing it. I am hosting that as a main event, and you can come out and win prizes by participating in my JoJo trivia game.
You say I could win prizes?
Tons of prizes.
Wow.
I mean, there's some of them off camera right here.
Oh, I can literally see one.
There's a box full of JoJo right here.
I see it.
Yep. And
how convenient for this bit that you could actually just point and go, look, there's some here, but they can't see it.
So come on down, and just brush up on your trivia.
Just read the entire manga
or watch the entire show. I had a really, really tough decision to make.
Do you limit to the show, or do you do the manga?
Yeah, and I went back and forth. I talked to some people about it. I took a bunch of opinions. I wasn't sure, because the best questions would come from shit that is not out
6,
yet.
7, 8, yeah.
The best, funnest questions would come from that. But I didn't want to have a situation where people would come to the panel and have to leave
because they would get spoiled.
Because they would get spoiled, and I didn't want to have a situation where I just didn't want to deal with that.
Which Joestar keeps trying to suck on your mom's tits?
So
that one. Oh,
I came up with a system where I was like, what if I have silent questions that I don't read out loud and you can look away?
That's not gonna work.
Yeah. So eventually I just settled on 1 to 5. Like anime only. Let's keep it safe for everybody. And let's just make it so that people feel like they want to come, because I don't want anyone to look at it and go like, I don't want to risk it, you know. And I mean, it's interesting because like on the one hand, like when I was discussing with friends, I was like, on the one hand, I could go like and say it's almost like you're playing. Imagine if you had a Dragon Ball trivia,
Yeah.
and you had to stick to
Up to Cell Saga.
up to Cell Saga. You couldn't go past it.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, but there's a lot of stuff we're talking about after that. But then, like Min, pointed out, he's like, okay, but would you say the same for Attack on Titan? And I went, motherfucker, you got me.
Yeah.
You got me. That's true. That's true. So we're gonna stick with 1 to 5, and that's gonna be going down Saturday at Con Bravo. So come on down. I have a little outfit I'm putting together as a host, as the Alex Trebek of JoJo.
Oh, yeah.
And I think my questions are pretty fun. So, yeah, everyone look forward to that. Onegaishimasu. Let's take a quick word from our sponsor.
Let's do.
This week, the podcast is sponsored by Away.
Hello, Away.
So, as I just mentioned, I'm going to be going to a convention in Hamilton this weekend. I'm going to be going to Con Bravo. I will 100% be traveling with my Away suitcase because it is the best suitcase I have used.
That's a pretty straightforward endorsement.
It doesn't get much clearer than that.
These Away folks will give you a suitcase. It's a good suitcase.
It is the best suitcase I have owned. I now have 2 of them. I use them, and Steph uses them, and it has so much going on. It fits perfectly in the carry-on. It's got the charge battery.
Man, I bought one that said it, not from Away. I bought from some generic piece of shit that said it was carry-on, that said it would fit in the bin. Boy, it didn't fit in the bin, and I was embarrassed.
That's terrible.
It sucked, dude.
I've never been. They even have something called the bigger carry-on, where you're like, oh, I don't know, guys, that's pushing it. Is that really gonna fit in? And it fit every single time. Like that moment of embarrassment where you're like, is it gonna? Always gets in. I've used it many times now. Yeah, straight up, just to the point with it. Best goddamn suitcase I've ever owned. And yeah, they make a carry-on. They've got an array of colors. They've got 2 sizes, 2 materials, strong but flexible polycarbonate and anodized aluminum. They've got,
I like aluminum.
Yeah, they've got a range of essentials that solve your travel problems, and it makes your trips easier. And of course, you get a 100-day trial that lets you try out any product on the road. So again, a ridiculous amount of time to test out whether or not you like what's going on. Lightweight and durable shell. I have not had any cracks or scuffs or damage on my stuff. Limited lifetime warranty means they'll fix and replace your bag if it ever gets damaged. Built-in compression pad lets you pack more in. It literally pushes the things down.
I don't know how that works.
It's got straps on the inside.
Oh, okay, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
You put all your stupid clothes inside, and then you put the limiter, and then it compresses it. It's great. 4 360-degree spinner wheels, TSA approved combination locks, optional ejectable battery. Literally using it everywhere all the time.
He's got it right there in his hand.
Right here because I use it all day. It's a chargeable battery for your phone, and for any other USB devices. Like, it's great. It's great, and it's got the laundry bag inside, so that when you have your dirty clothes on the go, you put it inside the zip. And
that's actually really useful because I have had the dumb mistake of wearing old clothes that I shouldn't have not worn.
It is like I'm dead serious. It's a goddamn amazing suitcase. So, what are you waiting for? All you gotta do is head on down to awaytravel.com/beast and use promo code BEAST during checkout for $20 off of a suitcase. That's $20 off of a suitcase at awaytravel.com/beast using promo code BEAST. And what can I say? Like, do it. It's good.
I'm looking at them right now. Ooh, you can make a set.
Yeah. Thanks, Away.
Thanks, Away.
So yes, all that and more on Wooly Versus on the Twitch and Yay.
And on the YouTube.
And on the YouTube as well. Yeah. Also, the RE2 stuff is into the rotation as well. So that's going down. But
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Good game.
How's your stuff?
I played the most amount of new games this week I've played in forever, so a couple of them are gonna skim. One new game one game that's not new is I played the new Hades update. Guess what? Hades is fucking awesome. That game's great.
The speed update?
High speed update.
High speed update.
I didn't play the beefy update, which introduced the Minotaur.
What does the high speed update?
It adds Hermes as a boon and a million rebalances and the like. So the
better dash.
The dash got changed 2 updates ago. No, it got changed after the death update. It all kind of runs together, but they added Hermes as a boon. They redid a lot of the boon stuff, and the beefy update, which I didn't play, which was the last one, added a 3rd floor, as well as a new boss and a bunch of stuff. But it's like it's too much to remember.
Okay,
you know, like those patch lists.
Lots of small things, nothing huge.
The patch notes are like, listen, we changed how these 35 abilities work.
Okay. But the biggest thing is new Hermes.
Hermes and the 3rd floor from the beefy update. Game's great.
Okay.
Game's super good.
Yeah, Hermes. Hades is fucking sick.
It's great.
Supergiant makes the good.
I played a game that you would probably be more into called Hardcore Mecha.
Yeah. That was good.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed that I did some reading up on it after I played it, that you only get to play as the one mech in the story mode. And because then I went to Versus and there were like 5 mechs in there and they're all really, really awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but for what it is, it's definitely rad. It's super cool. It's just a Metal Slug 2D animated fucking side-scrolling thing.
And
with robot
and big SRW influences.
Yeah, very
all
clear.
over the place. Yeah.
That's good. It's fun.
Right on.
I played.
You touched multiplayer too. You said, right? Like,
I did not play multiplayer. I went into practice to
tried them out
to see what they could do, and they could do cool things.
Yeah. I like how extremely different they are from each other.
They're wild
to the point where one of them doesn't even walk.
Yeah.
You know, like it's so. Like it's like your character. How do I put this? You know when you want to take Ryu and then pull a little bit and stretch and push a little bit to get everything else and make him a charge version. And this is the most extreme I've seen in terms of gameplay styles with that initial multiplayer roster. Yeah,
good absolutely. Shit. It's the differences between characters are more or less something like fucking Smash or something like that than a fighting game. The one that got me was the one that has to plant his feet and fire a laser cannon that instantly kills anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, but that's all he's got. It's literally all he's got.
Or the super robot.
Yeah. I played EDF 5, which is brand new on the PC.
Is that why everyone's yelling EDF nonstop?
Dude, this is...
So that's not new. It's just new on PC.
It's just new on PC.
Because I was actually like looking at releases and I was like, "Oh, EDF's coming out."
It came out on the PS4 a little while ago.
And and that's it. And I was like, "Oh yeah, Min." And Min's like, "Yeah, that's an old game." And I was like, "Oh, so wait, what's the one that I played at PAX that's not out yet?" 6?
I don't know.
Because there's an EDF that was being advertised at PAX that might be the new one.
Because it came out apparently like 2 years ago, and I just completely missed it. Just 100% completely missed it.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad good.
Iron Rain. That's it. Yeah.
It's. So, 1, the voice acting is worse than it's ever been. And 2, there is the most voice acting it's ever had. It is constant, like there is constant dialogue, and it is all just the worst.
Good shit.
It's so good.
Good shit.
Like all the mechanical stuff and all the stuff where you actually shoot the bugs is actually a massive improvement over 4 and 4.1. It's really impressive. It feels a lot better to play. But fuck that. Aliens are here, right? And they're like, oh my god, we can see the aliens.
They've been here since the first game.
But the actual aliens that are running the show.
Not the bugs.
Not the bugs.
Okay.
Not the robots. The aliens. They're
Okay.
here.
Okay.
And oh my god, Wooly, they have 2 arms and 2 legs and mouths, and they talk, and they look identical to humans. And this is a phrase that is uttered often. Oh my god! They're just like humans! They speak a language, they're exactly like humans. And what they are is 30-foot tall frogmen.
Now, how much frog and how much men?
90% frog.
Okay, hold on.
They are giant 30-foot tall slippy toads.
Okay, but if you say 90% frog, that implies that they have legs that are like bent backwards, and
They have the little ribbit pad feet.
are they standing upright?
Yes.
They are not 90% frog.
Okay, fine, 75% frog. But they're big giant frogmen as I'm killing them, and they're putting their arms back on.
Do they have necks?
No.
Their heads are sticking upwards in a frog way?
No, they're just kind of out of their torso.
Are they like hunchbacked so that they can
No.
look forward at you? Let me look at a goddamn picture.
Wooly, they look identical to humans.
But when you say 80% frog or 75% frog,
EDF frog, man, that's probably going to do it.
is there a name for this race?
I don't know. Yeah, just type in EDF frog, man. Here's your fucking frog person. Look, here.
That's too. I'm pulling it up. I'm looking on my own.
They look-
EDF Frogman. Okay, that's a frog.
That's a frog, Wooly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's a frog, and it's just upright.
Yeah. And it's identical to humans.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Just, I swear to God, like 40 lines of dialogue in a row for an hour.
Exactly like us.
They're exactly like humans.
Okay.
Because you have to remember, Wooly, this is really important. The EDF universe is a universe in which ants, tarantulas, spiders, bees, and frogs don't exist.
Okay. Normal.
Because they don't use those words.
Do the frogs Kero?
No, they do not.
No? Okay.
That game is nuts. That game is fucking crazy.
So the master race behind everything
That's right.
were frogs?
Yeah. Also, I did not know this. Somebody informed me of this when I was streaming it, that the EDF series has a 2-game reboot cycle. In
Okay.
which there's a game that comes out, like EDF 2017, that's like, the Ravagers are attacking the Earth. Oh no. And then there's a sequel to that in which the Ravagers are back. And then the 3rd game is back to there's aliens.
What's
Woo.
happening?
And this is in the oh no, there's aliens.
So then where does the Mechagodzilla come in?
That's a alien
That they made.
that they made. It's a dinosaur that put robots. Shut up. Shut up.
Okay. Okay.
Godzillas aren't real.
Okay.
It's a good game. It's a great game. I had so much fun playing it. I also played Sinking City.
What is that?
That is a open world Cthulhu based mystery game. It is made. Okay, this will help.
How do you make an open world mystery game?
So it's made by the developers of the Sherlock Holmes titles. Do you know those weird?
The bad ones?
Yeah, the bad ones. The Eurojank ones.
Oh, I'm excited.
Like the Sherlock Holmes and the Devil's Daughter and all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's Cthulhu. And
With the Slender Man mechanics on
no.
Watson.
Yes, there's a poster in that game that says Sherlock Holmes and the Mystery of the Creepy Watson.
There you go. They get it.
And so it's open world and it's a big, the city's flooded. You go and there are basically like you find a house and then you will go and investigate it. The game is fascinating in every way. Every single part of the game is different and weird and Euro and jank. And it's fucking awesome, man. So
the people that made the shitty Sherlock Holmes
That's
game.
right. And this is still kind of shitty, but it's also awesome. So, step 1. Okay, open world game in which you have to go solve Cthulhu-based mysteries and investigate stuff. You'll talk to a guy, and it'll enter in your journal. Oh, this guy got sick in his house. You can go check his house and investigate it. Okay, here's the process. Step 1, go to your journal. What's the address? Look at the map. Put the goddamn waypoint down on the map yourself by correlating the street signs.
It's that big of a city?
Yeah, okay. Like, hey, it's at the corner of fucking Coral and Crab, or what street. So you gotta go find the fucking street names and fucking plug in a map icon.
Okay.
So you can find it.
Sure.
Go find it. Then you're at the right intersection. Now look around and see which fucking house it is. There's only, okay, look around. Go in. Okay. There might be a shitty monster. Shoot that. Gameplay is terrible. The combat is the worst thing ever. I'm probably going to turn it down to baby shit mode because the combat's so fucking bad. There's a crafting mechanic and leveling and for combat. Who gives a shit, right? Okay. You're going to walk around. You're going to pick up notes about people hearing the other world. You're going to look at goo on the floor. Okay, how'd this happen? All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to use your detective Cthulhu sense to look for clues. Then you're going to retrograde amnesia soul suspects view the crime in an alternate reality, and then you have to pick the events in the order that they occurred as you see like different disparate events. Okay, you're going to find out what happened. Now you have the clues. Now you're going to take the clues, and all the clues that you find in this scene will go into your character's mind palace menu.
I like Ajna.
What?
Indivisible. Mind Palace.
Oh, that's an Ajna?
Yes, that's
okay.
what she does. That's
so
what
in the
she
Mind
does.
Palace, you have like 10 clues. And they are, so-and-so was violent. So-and-so spread hysteria around them. And you mix clues together to get deductions. And then you use the deductions to make solutions. And sometimes all your deductions can lead to different solutions, such as this guy was out of his mind with Cthulhu Rage, or he totally used Cthulhu Rage to cover up a murder that he did for real.
This sounds normal.
What do you mean normal?
Sorry. Like, walk around, get the clues. That's a thing I've seen before.
It's a good Soul Suspects.
Okay.
It's a good Soul Suspects with a big open world.
Because, like, yeah, piece what happened is also a very Soul Suspect thing. And then recreate the thing. Remember Me did that pretty good.
This isn't normal. This is
I guess so in the Mind Palace, break that part down a little bit.
It's a series of statements that you combine together.
Like sentences.
Yeah, sentences.
Okay.
Like so and so was violent, so and so got shot here. So,
okay.
So on top of that, it's that kind of gameplay, but it is in the most eldritch location ever. It's in Oakmont, which is a city that got half flooded off the coast of Massachusetts, because of course it did.
Yeah.
And it was so badly flooded that half the streets are flooded, but the water rose so high that there is now coral all over tons of the buildings. There are dead octopuses everywhere in the middle of the fucking street. There's a weird cult happening. But fuck that. Fuck that shit. Who cares? It's about the people who live there. Because this game takes place as a direct sequel to Shadow over Innsmouth. In which the Innsmouthers have now immigrated to this city and are straight up fish people. They're just the fish people.
Walking around.
Just walking around. And people in the town hate them. They hate the fish people. They hate their gross fish. But the first guy you talk to is an evil-looking doctor dressed head to toe in yellow. And he's like, oh, me and my pals have late-night rendezvous about philosophy. It's like, okay. And you look when you go to look at your costume, and that costume you can unlock, it's called the fucking King's Robes. And you're like, are you fucking serious with it? But then, fuck that. The first NPC you walk up to and talk to is a man named Throgmorton. And you look at him and he's a dashing man in a white suit. And it's a fucking ape man.
Like full on.
He's a fucking for real ass Sasquatch. And your character has a dialogue option that goes basically, what the fuck is up with this?
Okay.
And he goes, my family married into an exclusive bloodline. We all are blessed with these amazing divine features.
Okay.
And the ape people hate the fish people. And they're like, it's what if Yarnum was just filled with people having a regular day in addition to all the shit?
Sounds like you took Cthulhu and you mixed it with Danganronpa, because the gameplay you're describing is Danganronpa.
Ah, is it? Okay.
Sounds like it.
It's awesome. It's super. I'm really impressed.
The recreating of the crime scene fun stuff.
Yeah.
That's a fucking.
But the crime is
the best part of Danganronpa.
The crime is madness.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It's really, really cool. Apparently the console versions are super fucked up, and that's why I got really bad reviews. Like, it's loading screens when you go talk to people kind of fucked up.
Okay.
But that game's great. The other game the last game that I played was called The Outer Wilds, not The Outer Worlds. The Outer Wilds.
I'm seeing meme photos of your face as you turn away from Devil May Cry 5 and RE2 and towards The Outer Wilds.
It's probably the best game that's going to come out this year.
Is that actual?
Yes.
That's okay. Well, so like I said, we talked about this about 2 weeks ago, and I think I would mention it as like it came out, had no fanfare, no one knew what it was, and then it hit Xbox Game Pass, and that's where people got to try it.
Yeah.
Because it was free.
Yeah.
Well, not free, but whatever.
Kind of free.
And that's when it started blowing up. And then, of course, the Epic Store thing.
Yeah.
So,
it's...
What's the deal?
Okay, so I'm going to be really careful here, especially with you. Because the less you know about this game, the more you will enjoy it.
Okay.
It has many surprises. So at its core, it is a space exploration game with a tiny solar system. Okay. And by tiny, I mean physically small. Planets are maybe a kilometer in diameter.
Okay.
Like you can walk the entire length of a planet.
Okay.
And there are about 10 planets, I guess, in the solar system. Mm-hmm. And the premise is, hey man, you're a weird little fish man on your little fish planet, and you're gonna launch into space and go exploring space. And that's it. And the primary gameplay is exploring areas and reading translated old alien stuff to find out what the old aliens were up to. And there's a couple little other gameplay mechanics, like flying your ship as all the zero gravity stuff you would expect, and all the goofiness of having to try and maintain orbit and stuff like that. And
Mini Man Sky?
It is exactly what No Man's Sky told you it was going to be.
Okay.
On a small scale that could be reachable.
Mini Man Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. No Man's Sky Jr.
And there are many, many twists and surprises and interesting things to see.
Okay.
That I refuse to talk to you about, basically.
Okay.
Other than it's really good.
Did you decide that upon beating it or upon hitting a certain point?
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Did you beat the game?
No way.
All right, good.
I'll give you an example. And you will feel it. So I was streaming it. And I was going through the tutorial. And I was talking to the fish people. And then I looked down into my chat and saw people saying, "Shut up about spoilers, don't spoil it." Mm-hmm. And I went, what could you possibly spoil?
Okay.
And so I went up, and then I fell into the sun instantly because I forgot that gravity exists in space.
Okay.
And then I kept playing a little bit, and then went, oh wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
And I was really glad that in my chat, glancing at chat, I hadn't actually seen what people were talking about.
Okay.
There is stuff in that game.
Cool.
I'm refraining from comparing it to games that it is obviously like, because that will tell you
what
things about its structure.
Yeah. I'm an aggressive guesser.
Like our chat is in fucking emote mode.
It's in emote mode. Yeah, I'm an aggressive guesser when I'm in the dark, so that sounds good.
It's the kind of game that I could tell you a game it's just like, and you go, oh,
and
like a big thing.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
It's stellar.
Cool.
Pun intended.
You did not beat it, but you've played enough that
I played it for about 5.5 hours, and that's about a third of the game, maybe a fourth.
And decided that it's the best game.
It's amazing. It's incredible.
All right.
Unless it shits itself. If it shits itself, then fuck it. But so far, it is the most fun I have had with a game this year. It has been nonstop, just like, and wow, and just, you know.
There's no way for me to react to this except for sounds good.
Play it. Probably by yourself. But what I mean is not with these people. Not with you, person at home.
Well, I might take a look for on the channel.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah,
but not with you.
Okay, all right.
Because you people try and ruin things.
Okay,
it's so good.
Can't help it. Sounds
it's
good.
Also, if you have any, but for real though, if anybody listening to this has any anxieties about space, like a certain person that I know who thinks that space is just nighttime, you probably shouldn't play this at all, because it takes the fucking disorientation of being into space like to the absolute maximum. I got really anxious and confused at a couple points because I fucking fucked up parking my ship, and then watched my ship float the fuck away from me in orbit and was fucked.
Unfortunate title confusion, as everyone has to slide past Outer Worlds.
The entire stream that I played it, I had people coming and going, how'd you get Outer Worlds so early?
Exactly.
The whole time.
Unfortunate. Very unfortunate with that. Also, it's nice to know that even if something comes out and is initially like not like no one hears about it, it can make its way out from obscurity.
Well, Wooly,
you know,
you see, that's our job as influencers. We have to make sure to use our powers to give everyone the influenza.
Who was it? Who was the famous author that died before their work saw success?
I'm gonna say 100 different ones.
There is a notable author, or am I thinking of a painter?
All of them.
Okay. Well, in any case,
all of them, every single one.
I mean, yeah. Well, in this case, it's not upon death. However, like if you come and your launch window goes away, and then
luckily enough, this game gets a second launch window when it comes out on Steam.
Yeah. So,
that's the best. Just look down in the emote only chat to see the one person who can speak being Mothman saying Mothman draws.
Oh, Mothman. Oh, no. You're okay. You're not going to die before your work is appreciated.
I appreciate your work right now.
Right now. Yeah. Anyway, but like I was going to say the death window of a game's launch period where like there's no coming back from it. Usually would mean that's where it's over, but here that's cool. Made it back, and then Epic Games Store controversy can do double down on it, so that's fun.
It's an indie game that was Kickstarter, and it's old. It's one of the oldest ones. It's like 6 years old, and you play it, and you're like, yeah, they totally put 6 years of work into this. You can feel it coming off of everything. Made
by anyone in particular?
Not that I know of. I don't recognize the name. I can't remember the name.
Sounds good.
It might be their first fucking game.
Okay.
If so, ooh. Okay. You know, like the Hollow Knight comes out, and you're like, this is the first game by these 3 people, and you're like, ooh.
Studio MDHR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was it for Pat. I'm gonna go see Spider-Man after this podcast, so I'll let you know how that is.
Ooh, you catching that on the lates.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you want to check out any of that shit, this week's going to be Sinking City, Outer Wilds, Monster Hunter, and I'm going to start FF7 this week. You know why? Because FF7's a good goddamn game, and that shit's 22 years old now. So a lot of people don't know about it. You can check that out over at twitch.tv/angriest, Pat. That's twitch.tv/angryaspat. Usually stream at 8 p.m. on Eastern.
Okay. So we can hit the news.
I'm gonna go watch Spider-Man tonight because I gotta get ready for Phase 4.
Yeah. We like. Here's the thing. That's just gonna be a big whopping half of this goddamn episode.
Yes.
So, do we get out all the other shit?
Yes,
first?
we do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we skim them.
Okay. We get them out and we skim.
All right. Let's get some pond scum off. What's the
I
pond
just
scum
remembered.
of this episode?
I just remembered one at the last second, and I wanted to pull it up, because it's less of a news story, but it's still. Fuck. Where is it? Did you see the tweet, basically referring to, showing you footage of NBA 2020?
No.
And the story mode in that, the living the dream equivalent.
No.
God, let me just fucking Google real aggressively here. It is like remember Shikigami no Shiro? Remember Chaos Wars?
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
Handing NBA players a piece of paper with their lines on it, and then asking them to read it for the story mode is the fucking funniest shit it has ever been. Oh god damn it, I can't find it.
Well, I'm sure this will come up again later.
Because I at the last second I went, shit, I forgot about that story. Hey, if you tweet this story at me, we'll retweet it so that you can see just NBA voice actors literally
NBA players.
Excuse me.
NBA players
being asked to voice lines, and like you can hear as like what you need to do is go to the court, put on your shoes, and practice the game. To like it's
that bad?
The worst I've ever heard. I've ever like the absolute worst I've ever
amazing.
heard.
We got the real players.
Yeah, living the dream. Anyway, unfortunately, I lost that story.
Is Cats on there?
What do you want to say?
I don't want to say anything, but everybody wants to see Cats. So let me tell you what I think about Cats. That is nightmare fuel. Holy shit, that is the worst.
Fuck the actual Cats trailer. Go to Peel's Twitter and watch his retweet where they took the music out and they put the Us, I Got 5 on It creepy music remix.
Yeah.
Way more appropriate.
Yeah.
Perfect fit.
I saw a big old viral tweet, big old likes and retweets tweet that was, what the fuck is going on with visual effects artists this year? And the question is not, no, visual effects artists are all talented and have no creative control. But no, seriously, what is actually going on with visual effects direction? Now, we got Sonic, we got Cats.
Uncanny Valley is the new...
The Uncanny Valley is apparently infinite.
It's the hot new property that we got to move in on.
Lion King's the shit. Just shit also.
They're selling... There's real estate agents selling land inside that Uncanny Valley, and you can move on down and pick up yourself a nice big mansion.
Ian McKellen's CG face almost comes off the character model when he turns towards the camera.
Okay, Dame Judi Dench is the only one that actually looks like she makes sense because she has a cat face.
Yeah.
Dame Judi Dench's face is already...
Yeah,
she already has cat eyes and cat mouth, right? But she's wearing fur. So she's wearing the fur of a thing she killed.
I also checked up what the history of what Cats is about. It's Death Cult.
Yeah,
it's a death cult.
Memories.
Whatever. That shit looks like Cat in a Hat for real. It's bad.
Mahershala Ali showing up as well because he's got to be in everything.
I got to get more Academy Awards.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not going to get it for my next role.
So I'll get it for Cats. Yeah. That's some weird shit. But no, I didn't docket it because
CG is terrible now.
Go to Peel's Twitter. Go watch that version. So yeah. So first bit
of Pawn Scum.
Shigesato Itoi, aka the creator of Mother,
Yeah.
Earthbound, says he's still open for others to make Mother 4. Did an interview with Nintendo Dream, and more or less said, we keep getting asked about Mother 4 and Buried Treasure. Our stance is that it's already impossible for Itoi to create it. We'd be glad if someone else created it. This has never changed either. So that line that can cause a lot of confusion in the past about, like, is he saying they want literally like fans to make this game? We're back in this discussion mode, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that unless like there's an elaborate like statement that says otherwise, I'm assuming he means someone else at Nintendo.
He has his blessing on the people at the company to whatever.
I don't think he's saying fans make the game. I think he's saying someone at Nintendo can take it off my hands.
But also, for real though, like, Toby Fox did make Mother 4. And it's good this time. Because Earthbound sucks. Yeah, gotcha.
If I was an Earthbound fan, I would not like to think of Undertale as Earthbound 4.
I don't know. The people who told me Undertale is like an Earthbound are Earthbound fans. So
is it because the kid has the sweater and he
no,
walks
it's because
around?
it's very similar in tone and look, and
then you fight in the first person.
Yeah.
That's a hearty fuck off from everyone in the chat.
That's no. I saw a guy all caps. Pat's right. I saw one guy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I saw it.
We can skim that one.
Yeah.
2, interview with the Stadias. So director of Google Stadia's product, Google Stadia's director of product, Andrei Dorinichev, did an interview, answered some questions as to what the people's confusion was about a bunch of stuff. And
it's all bullshit. Every single word of that whole thing is a total lie.
Why'd the chicken cross the road? Stadia.
You see people that are like sending that clip of the podcast preview around in threads about the Stadia.
I did not.
As like a response to the Stadia.
I did not. That's pretty funny.
Every single time you talk to these Stadia guys, it's always like a nonsense pipe dream. It's like, the internet infrastructure will improve. We think that streaming is the future. We think that streaming is the future of all things. Even though, okay.
Well, like, so last time we talked about it, I caught, I think it was really just one person that said, like, you guys are totally wrong, by the way, because there is a Netflix-like service that Stadia is going to be. It's the paid service.
Yeah.
The thing that everyone's talking about and getting mad at is the free service, but the paid one is going to be what you're describing. So
yeah, no, the paid one is the one where you get one shitty PS Plus game a month.
So false information. Well, hey, false information, right?
Yeah.
And the first question in the interview is, can you clarify what the free game situation is for Stadia Pro, as it is confusing due to mixed messages? And he says, to be clear, Stadia Pro is not Netflix for games.
It's not.
As some people have mentioned. A closer comparison would be Xbox Live Gold or PlayStation Plus, where Pro subscribers get 4K HDR streaming, 5.1 sound, and exclusive discounts, and some free games, roughly one per month, give or take, starting with Destiny 2. So in other words...
I didn't get that part. That's a game I want to play through a fucking streaming service.
Yeah.
A fucking online game that already has latency.
So, I'm sorry, Mr. Stadia Defense Force. You were lied to.
Every single thing they say about it gets worse. And I don't know, I'm probably said this before, but like streaming as like a default, it can't, because the speed of light isn't fast enough.
Well,
it's like that fucking goofy panel from, is it High Score Girl or... the fighting game
It's
manga.
not High Score Girl, but yeah. The
speed of light is too slow for us.
The speed of light is too slow for us. What a boss! He's up his own ass so hard, and I love it.
Like, I'd like to compare the Stadia's reality with something that I was fucking around with last night.
We fighting gamers exist in a world of 1/1000th of a second.
So last
The
night
speed of light is too
I became
slow for us.
frustrated because remember the FF14 servers used to be here. They used to be in Montreal, which meant I used to have a ping of like 5 to 10. It was the best ping ever. I could do all sorts of shit, right? Now my ping is about 80 to 100 because servers are in fucking California now, right? Sad. However, that means that there's stuff that I just can't do anymore. There's something called double weaving where you use certain abilities right after one another, and they will like bump up against each other if you have a high ping. So I decided to bite the bullet and started using a VPN service called Mudfish, which routes your shit more accurately. Lost me about 10 ping. Not what it's actually about. What it's actually about is you can use the service to spoof whatever game you're playing into thinking you have a ping of 0, and it turns off all the lag accommodation, which means that it plays like it's local but then sends the signals according to your regular ping.
Doesn't that fuck up everyone else?
Nah. And it makes it so that my abilities come out with perfect timing and I can double weave no problem.
But wait, there's debt. Where does the lag debt go?
Lag that goes into the future.
I don't understand.
Okay, so here's how it works. Here's how I understand it works, right? Say you use an ability in Final Fantasy 14. I do a punch, bam, right? It has a cooldown of 2.5 seconds before I can use that ability again, right? Now I want to use something called an off global, which I can use in between. It's not affected by that. I can use one here, and then a second global. So
they all have cooldowns.
Right.
Yeah.
The first hit and the last hit share a cooldown, right? So when you click it, they all do the wipe. The ideal is to be able to hit the global cooldown and then hit 2 off globals in that 2.5 second window, right? The problem is that when you activate them, they kind of get locked in a little bit. So what ends up happening is if you click the global and then hit 2 off globals and you have latency, when you go to click the global again, instead of clicking immediately, it still has to finish the last move. And it does something called clip, which means it won't activate right away. It's about smoothness, okay? When you spoof the server into thinking you have a ping of 0, it won't stop you because of your latency. Because what happens is it needs usually the server has to call back to you and say, that move is done. Now you can do the next move. So now it just says, my local service says, the move is done, the move is done, the move is done, the move is done.
Basically, in ideal, perfect conditions,
this is how it works.
You should be able to get these moves in before the cooldown kicks in.
Absolutely.
But you can't because
I have to wait for the server to tell me it's okay to hit the next one. So what you do is you spoof it to 0, so then it's always okay to hit the next one, but it keeps sending them in according to the 90 millisecond ping.
And this isn't cheating.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
In fact, if you type in Wooly, do me a favor, go to Google right now.
Hold on. So what would the effect be? Well, for example, not everyone uses this, obviously.
Obviously not, no.
And what would the effect be if everyone did?
So a numerous amount of things. So the better your ping is, the less this has an effect.
Yes, of course.
At a certain ping level,
when you're garbage, when you're on your shitty Comcast,
okay,
and you
let's
use
say
this,
like Mothman's in the chat, he's got a ping of 200,
now?
right? If your ping is too low, what'll happen is moves are going to be hit on your local client.
Yeah.
Before the server got your last one,
and you desync.
And then shit. No, you won't DC, but shit will just stop happening. Like the move won't. Like you'll click 1, 2, 3. Like, and by the time you hit 3, 1 still hasn't reached there, so 2 won't happen.
So this is the why rollback exists.
Yeah.
But if someone's forcing their shitty connection to send things at like a rate as if they were with 0 ping, and that never gets received, if the last action never gets received, what does the server do? You said it does nothing.
Well, the server will actually literally do nothing because it will interpret you as hitting buttons simultaneously, and then the first one that reaches it will be the one that goes through. So, 1, you need a stable connection for this, and 2, you need a decent one. This is to help because I am far away.
See, I
have a really fucking fast internet connection that is rock solid, but I am far away.
I don't know if I understand, but I think I understand, and it sounds like this would be like unplayable if everyone were to actually use this as their...
What? No, why?
Well, because wouldn't you have...
the only thing that matters ever is your relation to the server, not other people.
Okay, but wouldn't, for example, a healer that is healing with cooldowns...
Yeah.
Sometimes then have situations where they're going to heal you and that doesn't go through because
if you have a shitty connection, absolutely. Or if your ping is too high,
so
absolutely.
that action never occurred, but they're now still on cooldown.
No, it won't. It wouldn't be on cooldown. It will just not have happened at all. The problem. So what you're describing, Wooly, is an existing, actual, real issue in the game, without any modification, where under certain specific circumstances, because of the server ping rate, you will hit a button, it will not go off, but you will have wasted the cooldown.
Okay.
In particular, there are
if you play on not like the unideal servers.
No, just in general, because the server has a low ping rate. So
ping crimson.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. But no, Wooly, all the tank abilities that make you completely invincible, right? And all the healer abilities that heal you completely to full.
Yeah.
Take about a second to register with the server.
Okay.
So your oh shit button is not actually oh shit, because oftentimes you hit it and then die and then it goes off.
So that's happening anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just telling the game, turn off all your lag compensation shit. Just let me fucking pretend I'm on 0, and then I'm gonna do all my inputs. And here's the thing, because there's client side integrity, in which I am basically I'm doing my actions properly according to my own timers, and then as long as those are correct and I have a uninterrupted non-packet loss connection to the data center, they will all be synced up and rolling together. Yes, if I have any kind of signal jitter, I'll have rollback problems. It won't roll it back, but certain punches or attacks just won't go through.
This only works providing that your connection is not utterly garbage.
Yeah, no, this is not.
Okay.
So people use What the Fast. Okay. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No.
People use Mudfish. Personally, I prefer Mudfish because you pay like pennies a month or whatever, and you can pick the games to use it for. This is extremely common for MMO players because it's not to make your bad connection good. No bad connection can be made good via VPN.
Yes.
It's to make your good connection either better, more stable, or avoid routing you through problem areas. So when the servers were in Montreal, there was a really big problem because there's an internet service distributor, whatever, named Level 3 that had a node that would get killed by Netflix in this area around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. every single fucking weeknight, which is prime time for an MMO. And everybody that used Comcast on the East Coast would naturally get routed through this one node, and they would disconnect from the game constantly. They would lag out, and it was because of the path that it took in the internet. So people started to use VPNs quite often so that the VPN would go, that's a bad node, go through Toronto. Even though your ping goes up by 5, you're avoiding that piece of shit internet spot.
Like New York or something. Yeah, okay.
Right? So that was the primary reason people use these VPNs.
Look, I hear you. I get it. And upon further elaboration, I see what you're saying. If you show up next week and go, so I've been banned from FF14, I'm gonna fall off my chair.
I'd be very surprised.
I'm gonna fall off my fucking chair.
As it has been, these VPN services have been commonly used for like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah,
like they're not official. Like, and also it has nothing to do with the game. This is my internet.
Sing a song of sorrow in a world without time.
Yeah.
Ping Crimson.
But no, it makes a big difference. The reason why I bring all of this up is because my distance from the server is significant enough that the game I'm playing now is significantly better than the game I was playing last night.
Sure.
Right? To the point where I signed up for an extra service to improve it because the speed of light and the internet infrastructure suck ass. It's not even good enough for the existing online games. Those have client components, let alone pure streaming. It's ridiculous.
So basically, Gold Experience Requiem is a state in which your packets get dropped forever.
Yeah. Your packets will never
They will never reach the server. They keep getting dropped.
Oh my god, that's actually... Oh my god, we did it! We explained Gold Experience Requiem! It causes your opponent to suffer packet loss!
They will act and do the actions locally as much as they want.
But the packets will never reach you.
They never reach the server.
Oh my god, we totally did it.
Straight up.
We totally did
100%. You locally act and understand your actions. The server never sees it.
And it's like it never happened.
Packet drop. It's fucking packet loss. Yeah. Solved.
I never thought we would get there from
100%. 100% solved. That is the best explanation for it yet. And it yes.
And it's consistent. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Fuck yeah.
Stadia's a joke. Stadia's a fucking joke.
I didn't even get to the rest. There's more to the
interview.
interview.
Of course there is. Let's skim some more. What do you got?
Wow.
What's in there?
Castle Super Beast 1, Araki 0.
0.
Stadia. Are there achievement plans? Yes, achievements. It's a lifelong gamer and a pathological overachiever. I love achievements, so yeah, achievements are coming.
Yeah.
And then we get to the meat and the potatoes. If the Stadia service is discontinued, do we know what, if anything, will happen with game purchases?
Uh-huh.
And then I felt a shift in the force.
Oh, yeah?
The midichlorians started doing their thing.
Started vibrating.
And the hand waves started.
Yeah.
And they're like, we get this a lot. I hear you. Moving to the cloud is scary. I felt the same way when music was transitioning from files to streaming. Have you read this? I still have all my old CDs in the garage, although it's hard to find the CD player these days. Smiley. The same happened when movies to photos and my docs and other files went to the cloud, and it's great. Games are no different. Eventually, all our games will be safely in the cloud too, and we'll feel great about it. We've been investing a ton in tech, infrastructure, and partnerships over the past few years. Nothing in life is certain, but we're committed to making Stadia a success.
You'll lose all your games.
The games you buy on Stadia are yours to play. From day one, we'll support takeout so that you can download your game metadata, including your saves if you want to. Of course, it's okay to doubt my words. There's nothing I can say to make you believe if you don't. But what we can do is launch the service and continue investing in it for years to come. Exactly how we've been doing with Gmail, docs, music, movies, and photos. That's exactly what we're committed to.
That's rich! You talk about only the Google products that weren't killed, like email? You're gonna lose all your games when the Stadia goes down in 2 years.
He goes on to ask, have you heard the tale of Darth Plagueis?
Yeah. That is the most amount of words I've seen answering a question with no content in it whatsoever. He just refuses to answer the question.
What will happen to your games? Hey, man. We know. We understand.
Yeah, but what'll happen?
It's scary. But other services have come and we got to trust the digital age eventually.
That's actually not true at all.
We got there, and you can download your metadata. So,
that's not true at all. Netflix works because television and film are disposable, and when people lose access to things like Always Sunny, they flip their fucking shit and then go acquire it somewhere else.
So I don't know exactly what this type of metadata would entail, but if it's like
It's just your
others,
save game
it'll
or
just be
whatever.
it'll be your stats. It'll
Yeah.
be you know, like
You can hold on to your metadata and remember that you played this game.
yeah, well, it'll be whatever, like, yeah, whatever server-based information that you've sent to them will be like, here you go, this is what you did, but it will not be your game. So, yes, because there's no.
Google's gonna kill this in
But here's the
18
thing:
months, man.
what ideal possible answer would there be?
Refund.
Oh,
Flat.
delisting equals refund.
Yeah,
Money out of pocket if you take the game away.
absolutely.
Huh. Yeah, that is a bad business model. That means
This is a bad business model.
yeah. That forces them to have a money losing scenario as that is out of their hands if a company delists or goes out of business, right? Because if a company goes out of business, why would their game still be listed?
Yeah.
Right. If a company decides they don't want it anymore for, I don't know, Marvel licensing purposes or whatever the fuck.
Well, a lot of game companies go bankrupt or disappear, but as long as you bought them on the service that you bought them on, you can still re-download them. And if you still have a physical copy, of course, no one can take that away from you.
There might even be lawsuits that are not like that. There might even be lawsuits that require the game to not be sold, in which case it is delisted
He is.
and
Destroyed in some cases.
you know. So yeah, that is a completely unsatisfactory answer. So
That's a pretty charitable way to put it. Unsatisfactory. It's nonsense. It's crap, man. It's fucking.
is anything being done to combat data caps, or is it purely on us to converse with our ISPs? $50 extra a month for me to just to not have a data cap. I can't predict the future, but we've seen ISPs adapting in the past. I saw it with YouTube. We'd expect that to continue. Players concerned about data usage will definitely have the tools in the app to manage your data better and to your unique situation. Not sure if that'll be day one or later. There's a lot of ISPs offering plans in the hundreds of Mbps or even gigabits with no caps, though. We'll see different progress in different countries and certainly are expecting ISPs to continually improve their service. It'll be on the ISP to match to Stadia's speed.
So this is the second time they have said this. The first time it was like a little more vague, and they said we expect infrastructure to improve to accommodate the gaming future or some shit. Let's go talk to Eli on his fucking bullshit satellite internet.
I'm trying to find the right analogy for the thing that sits and has no, like, ISPs don't need to do anything. They are bloated
Monopolies.
and they receive money for existing.
Yeah.
There is no incentive whatsoever for them to lift a finger.
The only reason the Canadian ISPs, which were in a worse monopoly state than the American ones, were able to do anything is because the government threatened them with all sorts of shit, and that now there's all sorts of goofy fucking provisions, right? But if they don't need to, they don't do it. Why would they do it? They get money just to be there.
They will absolutely not lift a fucking finger until like a government crane has to remove the roof and pull them out
Also,
of the fucking house. Like,
for somebody from Google to say that the infrastructure will improve when their own internet rollout shit is, from what I can tell, a disaster. Kansas City was supposed to be the first one, remember? Apparently it's really hard to actually physically install internet in Kansas City. Something about the ground being too hard.
Still waiting on that satellite that's going to bathe North America in free Wi-Fi.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Oh, you don't remember that? That was a project that was I don't remember what it was named, but it was an initiative started that they wanted to just have free Wi-Fi across the entire continent that would be ad supported.
But the ping time on that would be...
Bathe North America in Wi-Fi. Well, so yeah, ISPs will adjust, right? So so far,
the balls.
So far, 3 out of 4 questions answered with complete disconnects from reality.
You know what that is? You know what that actually is? hey, dude, your new SUV seems too wide. It might not be street legal. We expect the roads to be improved to accommodate our new wider car.
Like, yeah. 3 out of 4 questions, and the one that wasn't was about achievements.
This is a Canyon Arrow.
So, and then they ask about the friends system, and then they ask about cross-platform possibility, and who cares?
Who gives a shit? Like
the 3 biggest problems have no answers to them whatsoever.
So remember, everyone, and I'm being very serious about if you plan or desire or know anyone who wants to spend money on the Stadia. The most important thing to remember about all of this is the only way to really get ahead in Google is to launch a product even if it fails. That's the only way to really get some good groundswell and some good promotions inside the Google Corporation is to launch a product. Any product!
I mean, besides the fact that they pay you to keep working on it, for their like initiatives and stuff, this is much further along than the projects that die off. Like, like
that
Glass.
That just means it had people higher up working on it.
Glass did eventually come out for businesses. Mm-hmm. They did sell and do sell like a specific version that's like not for like whatever John P. Joe Public or Joe Q, whatever the fuck the saying is. Anyway, that's not for the layman, So,
hey Wooly, how do you like your fucking YouTube account linked up to your Google Plus profile?
Love it. It's great. Makes things so much easier,
doesn't it?
So glad that I have to use that.
That they then discontinued and now it exists as some vestigial account.
Like, maybe there's a different world of ISP behavior across the ocean.
No, it's in space.
But I just
it's where it's on the alien planet
you on
that
the
these
same
people are
land
from.
Mass as us?
No.
Do you have a provider at home with internet that adjusts?
Oh no, here's the thing. Everyone who ever talks in these articles ever either lives in fucking Redwood, Washington, right? That fucking the tribe with Microsoft, or Silicon Valley. Every single fucking time.
Well,
they,
anyway.
They live in the techno bubble. They live in the technodrome, Wooly. And they don't know.
I should be happy because, quite frankly, this alleviates so much of that fear that I had not long ago
just
about the state of regular
because
consoles.
your fear was based on competency and good enoughness.
Good enoughness that mobile games currently achieve.
This is a fucking joke.
Like convenience over, the quality.
And now it's like, what convenience?
Yeah. Because goddamn, dude, like, it really would suck to have a world where, like, your friends don't really actually own consoles, or like most people are just doing this garbage like streaming service, and like only the people that really, really care and save up for it go in on something.
You mean it's a nightmare to think of a future in which you don't actually own any of the things you buy and everything is just leased to you via non-escapable license agreement,
and you can't actually touch it because it's
not real,
and there's a lag,
it's all
distance.
Disney branded.
Your ISP is going to determine your ability to properly play the game. I mean, it currently does.
And you're just renting the food you eat,
but
you have to give it back.
But like the world of all the problems that come with multiplayer games now apply to all games, where you just take that issue and you expand it everywhere.
I too fear our encroaching dystopia.
Data caps, yeah, not even to mention that. Anyway, so that's hilarious.
It's so stupid, man. It's so dumb.
It is laughably out of touch, and we will see. We will see. God bless. Okay, so San Diego Comic-Con happened. Oh, wait, hold on. Everybody, there is a Kickstarter. It's called FictionSphere. Mm-hmm. It is a Mega Man Zero style. They call it Mega Man X-esque, but I think it's more Mega Man Zero style platformer. And it is currently looking to get about 20K. So take a look at the trailer. They show a whole lot of gameplay, so they get right to the point on that, which I appreciate. And Yeah, I'm seeing kind of Inti creates, MMZ vibes of a character that goes through platforms and, but it also has like brawling aspects as well. It looks pretty cool, man. Honestly, wall hopping, all the trademarks that you'd expect are there, and the sprite quality is pretty cool. The character looks very OC.
Like many of these types of games.
Yeah, it looks very much Do Not Steal DeviantArt OC. Check out my cool blue. Someone's Trapper Keeper had many designs for this legally distinct X / what's his name? Gunvolt. But
This looks so much like Mega Man Zero. Holy shit.
But yeah, the sprites are cool, and you run, you shoot, you do melee. It's fun stuff. Looks solid. So yeah, check it out on Kickstarter if you like the looks of it, and I think it's worth bringing up if you're looking for some of that Mega Man style action. Please don't fall. Thank you. There we go.
What did you knock down?
Nothing, but I almost knocked something
Oh,
over.
okay.
That is FictionSphere.
It's an odd name.
Yeah. At one point, there's like a racing like section, and then at one point, like the logo opens up with a book. So I think like the book has something to do with the name and stuff. There's a red person.
I'm glad.
With blonde hair.
Okay, really? Okay.
Yeah. All right. So,
speaking of our encroaching dystopia,
San Diego Comic-Con happened. SDCC. Of the things that did happen, many things happened. I'll tell you what didn't happen.
What's that?
D&D showing up to the Game of Thrones panel. 'Cause,
smart.
I mean...
Smart.
Well...
Bitch coward, but smart.
Fiscally responsible. Bitch coward.
Bitch coward. Yes.
There is, in fact, a trace of bitch in their hearts to be found.
Smells like bitch in here.
Yep. Sensed it. Sense bitch in your heart. I could feel it. Well, anyway, what did happen apparently, because there was people that were like lots of people live tweeting the Game of Thrones panel, and what I caught was that apparently it was more or less like, okay, guys, some of the actors are here. Be nice. Let's do the thing.
Yeah.
And shout outs to like Gwendolyn Christie and the guy that played Theon for like nominating themselves because HBO didn't, and then for the Emmys, and then the Emmys actually giving them the nomination.
Yes.
Because straight up the HBO, like, they nominated themselves for like best writing in some of the worst writing episodes ever, but they didn't nominate some of their best actors.
Yeah.
So with those people that submitted themselves that actually got it from the Emmys, it seems like the ultimate fuck you.
Yeah.
But hey, they still got to say, hey, yeah, oh yeah, you guys, you got it. Hey, good job, guys. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really just like disrespectful and shitty that they did that. But regardless, sounds like the panel went off, and I'm not sure how true this is, but someone said that like they really cut off the questioning, like they didn't allow for a ton of open questions. Yeah. So yeah.
Say what?
And I believe someone there said that they felt that the campaign against the Game of Thrones was media driven because look how many of you guys showed up. You're all here, and it's like, oh, you're pulling one of those. You're saying that because I showed up in the audience to see how the train wreck is going to go,
sir,
that
I
means
showed
I
up
approve?
to boo you.
Like, yeah, that's,
to the point where some of you aren't here for fear of boos.
We came to the concert to boo. Boo. Anyway, that's really funny that went. But anyway, so...
They can't dodge this forever.
No, but they can dodge it until the check clears, because why would they fuck up their money? That new money.
Sure, but...
Right?
Like,
they got that new money for all those new projects, and if they show up and get into a piss-screaming match with thousands of people,
no, but...
and they're screaming and yelling and things get ugly, right? How is that gonna look for the new projects they're attached to going forward?
Well, here's what I have to say about
altogether.
how they can't dodge it forever. You're right. But at the same time, they're moving over to Star Wars.
Yes. And the new HBO Confederate
something
show.
that is to be assumed that you do the fucking contour on,
course.
because Star Wars.
Yes, at SDCC of all places.
I have a significant feeling that some Star Wars fans like Game of Thrones. They just can't dodge this forever. They will do a fucking panel about the new Star Wars movie, and the first question will be, so how come you ruined Game of Thrones, you hack fucks? And they'll go, well, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Star Wars. And the crowd will go, right?
So, see, the thing is that if they showed up, we would no doubt be living in a world where, you know, the American chopper argument meme?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Where that would be replaced with them on stage pointing and yelling, "You fuck!" It
was your idea to cut this part.
Season 8, and then someone throws a chair, and then the brawl breaks out. That would be the new replacement.
Yeah.
And we can't have that.
No,
because they got all that new money. So they wisely did not show up to not fuck with the new money, but that's some bitch shit.
Someone described that that situation with Game Freak and the situation with D&D are very similar, in that they don't care about the thing they're working on now. They just want to work on different stuff.
Want to move on to the next thing, yeah. It would be like if they came and owned it and walked on. I'm not even gonna, it was so bad that it's not even like that would save the feeling.
It'd be appreciated.
It would be appreciated, and people would probably start to lighten up if there was a sense
they
of like...
took their lumps.
Yeah.
People would calm down.
People would start to calm down. It would still be pretty bad because it took so long to get here. But most importantly, it would take a lot of the weight of that off of the actors who are there showing up, that then have to basically be the ones to kind of face that.
Never underestimate how humanizing it is to take your lumps. Did you do a stupid? Be like, I'm sorry, I did a stupid for real.
I try to. And
then people genuinely appreciate it.
Or they tell you you're making excuses.
Sure.
But
when you double down and go, nah, it was great, or just disappear, oh, fuck off.
So
now, this is not to be confused with the apology that is often thrown out. It has to be sincere. Be sincere about taking your lumps.
Well, in any case, that was a hearty, sensible chuckle was had.
Yeah, I found out about that last week, and yeah, I've maintained my opinion. Smart, but bitch.
Right.
I wouldn't want to go out in front of those fucking people.
Neither would I. And if I had millions riding on it, I might think twice. But I would like to think in the end, I'd still do it.
You'd like to think that.
I'd like to think in the end that I would still do it. I would.
Well, I would do it for fun. But that's my personality.
Because, yeah. That is your personality. In my case, I feel like...
I did it bad on purpose. That's the only way I could live with it.
Because then it just feels like you're walking around with this big inflated balloon that you're waiting to pop. So, but Kojima ran a panel for Death Stranding and revealed the box art. And that's all cool. It's got the Retus on it. And then you got the pre-order bonus for the Funky Fetus.
Yeah.
Which you can put in your house and explain to...
no one.
Because why would you have friends and family that would visit you? That's exactly it. However, alongside all that came a character detail.
Which is like, oh, wow.
And it's the most Kojima thing I've heard since he left.
It's the most Kojima thing I've heard since he's covered in bees. Did you know that the pain? He shoots bees.
We're talking, of course, about Heartman.
Why is he called Heartman, Willie?
Because the character Heartman dies every 21 minutes. When this happens, he spends the time in which he is dead searching for his loved ones on the other side. After that brief period, his heart is restarted, he is resuscitated, comes back to life, so that he can eventually have the additional opportunity to search for his family again. While he waits for these moments where he's dead and able to search, he spends the 20 minutes waiting by listening to music or watching short movies. That's fucking crazy.
So not only is that fucking crazy, I'm like, okay, if that's Heartman, then what the fuck is up with Dead Man and Die Hard Man? Like, what the fuck?
I am in love with that concept. That is so interesting.
Yeah.
As a single
It
paragraph.
explains why he looks miserable in all the trailer shots.
Oh, for sure.
That's a bad existence.
But that is a wonderful piece of simple characterization that you're gonna take going into that, and I love that. That's great. Feeling good about that.
I miss my family.
Every 21 minutes.
It's really short as a timer.
It's thrice an hour.
Yeah.
Twice.
Does he turn it off to sleep?
I guess the dead sleep is as rewarding as you can get, really. Yep. Hey, you want to watch Lord of the Rings Extended Edition? I'm good. I'm good. Anyway.
That's a tough watch.
Yep. So that was really cool. I like that. And I like that being like, here's a random character from this world that we're just going to explain a little bit about. Yeah. And I'm like, yay. This is one for the yay board. As my nervous trepidation and cautious optimism gives way to optimism.
Yes, there we go.
I still want to make sure that, and I believe, I heard that. So it sounds like review copies are starting to be a thing.
Now,
or some people are something, but I want to know if those hands that reach up and pull you are the threat, or if it really is the shit that we see in those cutscenes. Because the shit in the cutscenes is way more interesting than just the goopy hands.
The goopy hands?
Don't do the goopy hands. Okay. Kevin Smith had a couple of things to say about episode 9. In particular, he was told that the last shot of episode 9 will melt your mind. He got to visit the set and hang out with JJ as some of the things that he wanted to do after he had that heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
And he was being told at this he was being told by people at the set to go check out this one set. Go check out the set here at Pinewood. You got to go see it. And then he asked about that, and he's like, "Why is everyone saying I got to go see this set?" And JJ said, "You don't want this spoiled. Don't go there. You want to be in a theater when it happens. Trust me." Other people on the crew went in there and they saw it, and they said, "Man, I wish I hadn't seen it, because it will melt your mind." Because apparently, what that set is the last shot of the movie. So he's bigging that up. So something's gonna be crazy.
The Jay and Silent Bob movie looks fucking terrible and embarrassing.
Well, anyway, something about episode 9 is gonna end on a crazy ass note.
So he doesn't actually know that it'll melt your mind. He just got told that it would melt his mind.
I'm like, whatever it is, it's obviously gonna be a very different thing from the current status quo. My curiosity is, are you going to change the world in a very, very... is it going to be a final, is it going to be, a mind-melting because of its finality, or because of the fact that the game has changed as we enter the new franchise of Star Wars?
It'll be back in time, and Anakin Skywalker will be good this time. Could you imagine?
Fixing the prequels?
No, just changing the whole thing. Retconning all of it. Vader never turned evil, so everything's totally fine. So we're just going to have Star Wars adventures in Star Wars land, and the Republic is fine.
Oh, okay, no.
Could you imagine?
Okay, obviously that's stupid. But
it is.
But
it is stupid.
But
mind-meltingly stupid.
But what I thought for a second was the version where you're like, could you imagine we were going to fix the prequels by just doing some completely different shit with them? And I was stopping to go, hold on a minute.
No.
What do you mean?
No, much dumber than that.
Because that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
What if
it would be impossible to explain because we're too far in?
What if the final
We've gone
set
too far.
was like Kyle Katarn was there, and you were like, yeah, Kyle Katarn's the shit.
Would you accept a new prequel trilogy that just shits?
I don't care.
It would
I don't care.
I guess not. It would be the most disrespectful move on the planet. It would be like open ass diarrhea on Lucas's head.
Yeah.
To just announce 2023 episode 1. It would be fucking crazy. But anyway, all right.
Yeah, who cares?
All right.
Those original 3 movies are great.
I'm sorry. I thought you would care about the news story.
No. I'm not talking about the news story.
Okay.
I'm talking about the idea of like going back to make new prequels. It's like, no, they're bad. They're so bad.
Well, anyway.
I want them to retcon all of it. I want them to come out and say none of Star Wars ever happened. Luke was never born.
I'm very, very curious about this because, like, I would hope that it falls into the category of, like holy shit, because we're ending the story on this note.
Yeah.
And not holy shit because of what we want to do and sell after this.
You know, it'd be nuts if they had the Force gods there.
Yeah. The 3, the trilogy,
Yeah.
the Father, the Son, and the whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me the Force gods. That shit's canon. What if there were 10 Darth Vaders? And that was the final fight. It's like, oh no, it's 10 Darth Vaders. There it is.
Like alternate realities?
Nope. I just cloned them all and then chopped them up and put them in the suits. 10 Darth Vaders, just like Starkiller.
That'd be a lot of Darth Vaders.
Yeah. And they're all Chad Vader, actually.
What's Chad Vader?
Are you not familiar with Chad Vader?
No.
It's a day shift manager. It's a web series called Chad Vader Day Shift Manager, which was a guy in a perfect idealistic suit with the best Darth Vader voice ever, rivals James Earl Jones, working as the day shift manager of a local grocery store.
All right, so...
And, well, here's the thing. It does matter because his voice acting was so, like, amazing that he does all the non-James Earl Jones Darth Vader now.
Note to self, don't do Star Wars stories. Got it. Next.
Chad Vader Day Shift Manager is the best.
It should
be the grocery store from Chad Vader.
Next story on the docket.
Okay.
Netflix's Witcher trailer dropped at SDCC. And that's a whole lot of walking around.
Need More looks good.
It's two things come to mind. One, for a show that is not based on those games.
Nope.
That character sure looks a whole lot like the guy from the games.
He was drawn that way. Like
that's
what
the thing.
Garrett looked like is very known.
His illustration and description
totally.
is that. Okay.
Yeah.
And 2,
Brandon Roth is fucking jacked. You see his pec titties? Damn.
Well, what I was going to say is actually that I really can't not see Superman in a big dumb white wig.
Really?
I see Superman in a big dumb wig. It looks so bad sometimes. Like, there's a couple shots where it's, like, standing off of his head because it's on top of his real hair.
I'm sure they'll do.
And I'm like Legolas had, like, Orlando wove it into his head.
Well, he was also a punk, so he shaved his head.
Okay, that might be it. That might be the difference, right? But it felt like if we're gonna be seeing big long-haired elven fucking Fabio cover man stuff, like it needs to look like it's not a fucking headpiece from like
They'll
the
fix
1800s.
It in the CG. They'll fix it in the CG. Don't
you
worry.
know, like an asbestos wig.
Some of the design prop shots came out and they looked really bad, but overall, the tone looks pretty good. It probably needs to be a little grimier, but this will probably be a useful companion piece to get caught up to the real story that matters, which is the games.
Dude, he's got Fabio hair, man.
He's got Fabio hair.
He's got Fabio hair.
The character has Fabio hair.
Okay, but Fabio's hair is actually his hair.
Yeah.
He's got Fabio cosplay hair.
Listen, dude. He's a mutant. He's got weird hair. It's fine.
The headpiece, the piece doesn't look great.
Yeah.
But sure. That's some Witcher.
The quality of that show to me is going to depend on how much is him being tired and doing shitty jobs and how much is being involved in a giant royal conspiracy.
The flavor I got off of his character in Soul Calibur is that he's always tired.
He's always tired.
He is Post Malone.
He is so tired.
Yeah.
And he is a moral center in the fact that he is tired of everyone's bullshit. Everyone.
But is there anything to the fact that like he looks like such a like Harlequin romance novel like character in
Yeah,
because
Witcher's fuck.
I just mean I'm like like design wise, you feel like you're opening up those books at the cache at Pharmaprix.
Wooly,
he's
he's a
CVS.
fucking fantasy character written in Poland in like the 80s.
Is it that old? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's a fucking Dragonlance character that made it super big.
That made it far. Yeah. Okay. I got that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
And he's also James Bond. You know why? Because he can't get sick, so he fucks all day.
Right.
Can't get this dick disease. Nuh-uh.
It's from that era. That time
He's
frame.
fantasy Chad.
Right.
He is totally
and
fantasy Chad.
And he managed to make it to 2019.
Yeah.
You know, Elminster didn't make it.
No.
Raceland Major didn't make it.
Right. We never got one good video game with Raceland in it, and that's a crime because that character rocks.
What the fuck? Drizzt made it for a little bit.
Drizzt got to be in Baldur's Gate.
Drizzt.
He was also. I think.
Don't steal. Two knives, two wolves.
I think.
Drizzt.
Did you say wolves
or whatever they are?
Panthers, man, Black Panther.
Whatever the fuck.
I think Drizzt got a cameo in the Brawler Forgotten Stone for the PS2.
Oh man, Dungeons and Dragons heroes. Yeah. The Witcher made it. Okay.
He totally made it.
Okay.
You know why he made it? Because the most relatable thing about Geralt is that he's tired. It is the defining thing of his character is that he's exhausted and he hates it.
Because he's just as a design, it like you're just like that is. It's weird that the same time period created in different real periods of time has different aesthetic sensibilities to it.
Yeah.
You know, so like there's a fantasy era that you can see that has like the big like sort of leathery armor bustier shoulder pad kind of cool designs, and then you go back long enough and you kind of just have these sort of like
I'll be blunt, man. The difference is not just time. Like Drizzt and Geralt are almost the same character and they are contemporaries from the same era.
Mm-hmm.
It's who wrote them and how depressed are they.
/ how edgy do they want their OC to be.
Drizzt, maximum fantasy edge fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
Geralt, I'm sad and poor in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I mean, you know, the world being like, you know, here there be dragons.
Yeah.
And that's a fucking beholder over there.
And Geralt's like, this dragon.
Yeah. But
also his tiredness, I should point out, he's probably like 150 years old.
Right.
He's an old fucking man.
Anyway, so trailer for that looked like Witcher. You think there's gonna be stuff that's like game specific that gets put in that
the time that is as far back as they could possibly go. Okay. Because in that trailer you see you probably heard the name Yennefer.
Yes.
So they show Yennefer being a uggo bitch, damn, and then they're like magic, and then she's not an uggo bitch anymore because that's what they do. The sorceresses.
Well, all I was going to say is that is there stuff that people that care about The Witcher now care about because of the games that gets thrown in, and then somewhere that author is just going fucking video games.
A lot of the look of that thing is
there you
the
go.
games.
That's what I'm kind of trying to ask.
The number one of which is that Geralt doesn't carry both swords on his back.
Okay.
Geralt keeps the sword that he's not using on his horse, but in the game they're like, dude, that would suck ass. So they put both swords on the back.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
What characters are like? They're probably,
right. Because guess what? The world that mostly cares about this adaptation more than the source material. So if you go back to the source material based on being upset,
I imagine there's a somewhat delicate balancing act because the author clearly hates the games because they stole his thunder or whatever the fuck. So this takes place in the ancient early book past, right?
But it just happens to look like the games. It just happens to look,
and characterization of certain characters are going to be closer. But, and this is the funny part, since the author doesn't know anything about the games, they can just say that they took artistic license.
Certainly.
And it just so happened to be that Ciri's going to act just like Ciri in Witcher 3, or so on and so forth.
Yeah. If there's ever any, I'm wondering if it's the type of thing where because it's I'm assuming he's it's a direct adaptation of his
no, it's an amalgamation of earlier stuff.
Okay.
It looks like they're taking, because Ciri's a big character, and she was in some of the later books, and it looks like they're taking her stuff and rolling it back into the beginning. It's
Wooly, the showrunner, said no games will influence the series.
That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. You can see it in his design. He said that because he doesn't want to make the author upset. I'm telling you. Since you're unfamiliar with the Witcher rules, I can sum up why, what I want out of that. It should be more Cowboy Bebop and less Game of Thrones. Say there's 10 episodes, 7 of them should be
plot.
No. Should be fucking bumbling around, having zany adventures. And 3 should be plot.
Okay. I was about to say, are you misremembering Cowboy Bebop and how many important episodes there were? Because there were not many.
Yeah, that's my exact point.
Yeah. Most are bumbling. Okay.
The Witcher should be bumbling a boot.
Okay.
Because that world is goofy and grimy and shitty.
Speaking of bumbling a boot.
Let's hear it.
The trailer for Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Okay, if you don't want Star Trek spoilers that are decades old, don't listen to this. I don't know how I feel about this Picard trailer.
Sounds like
sounds like they want to make another TNG movie.
I feel as if this is the product of maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea, but it feels like 20 years of conventions.
Yeah.
And people wanting something to happen. Mm-hmm. This sounds like it getting willed into existence.
So that's not what happened. What happened is STD is a massive disaster.
Because what was that last one called? Nemesis?
Mm.
So, because Nemesis disappointed people?
No. STD. Star Trek Discovery.
Oh.
The show.
Oh, the new show.
Is a total fucking train wreck.
Yeah, I heard otherwise from someone that said they liked it a lot.
That's crazy. It's an ass wreck. The Orville is actually much better. But what are you going to do?
I mean, there's a lot of makeup on him.
There's a lot of makeup on him. There is a lot of makeup on him. Because he is old as fuck.
So what I did hear about this was that apparently he said he did not want at all to ever to play Picard again, and then he got handed the script and read it and went, fuck, yeah, okay, I'll do this. So apparently he was that impressed to go back on what he said.
I think that story is very similar, except what was handed him was slightly different.
I mean, after doing fucking endless circuits on the convention route and
So Michael Dorn told a story at a panel a couple years ago.
Fuck it, like he's played he's played Charles Xavier. He's done his stuff. Like, yeah, I'm sure the money's good, but at the same time, it's like
He did Emoji Movie.
he did American Dad.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, he was the boss on American Dad.
So Michael Dorn told a story a while ago at a panel. Michael Dorn's the guy who plays Worf, for those of you who don't know. And Michael Dorn and Brent Spiner on TNG had a rough fucking job because they got to come in 5 hours before everybody else, sit in the chair, and have the makeup people attack them before they got to do their roles, right? That included even if Worf had like 4 lines in the whole episode, you're going to sit in the chair for 5 hours, Mike. So when he was done with TNG and he got his residuals, right? They all those guys got residuals, right? He's like, whoa.
Syndication.
Yeah, I'm never going to fucking play Worf again, goddamn. And then the showrunners for DS9 came to him, and he said, I'm never going to play it, because he's on DS9. He's in for like 4 seasons, right? He's like, I don't want to do Worf again. That's so much. Whoa, that's a lot of money. All right, Worf me up. That is exactly how he tells that story. Is that he was turning it down, and they told him how much, and he was like, fucking put me in the chair and put the makeup on me.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
For Patrick Stewart to come back, like, no amount. Like, you know? And Brent Spiner, too. Those are the two of the biggest ones. Those 2 guys are the ones.
It also feels like this had to happen after a bunch of other attempts came and went.
Yeah.
Right? You got to get some distance and then some clunkers.
And they got, from Voyager, the only people worth salvaging are Jerry Ryan and Robert Picardo. Robert Picardo has guest starred in other stuff because he's a hologram. And Jerry Ryan is Seven. And she is doing her best Jerry Ryan impression, as she is not acting like 7 of 9 at all. She is just playing her character from Boston Public, which I remember because I watched that show. It was a good show.
Is there ever any overlap between like 7 of 9 and TNG stuff?
You need to add.
Okay, you know
what is the actual question? I can answer it for you.
Isn't she's from
Voyager.
Voyager
in the Delta Quadrant.
And so would she know anything?
They get back at the end.
Okay. All right.
Also, there's an episode where Riker shows up on Voyager because Q was shenanigans.
Okay, because I'm like, okay, that character from that other series is looking at Jean-Luc Picard.
They exist,
and they're like, hey,
Reginald Barclay, the weirdo nervous guy from TNG.
Yeah,
he is in the last season of Voyager because he's talking to them via like a long range beacon.
No LeVar Burton on that cast list.
It's a bummer.
And
I need him lost in a dark room going, who said that? Who's talking? I need it.
Will always remember one of the last things I saw was a clip of him trying to get whatever Kirk fucking what's his name? You see, I'm bad with this. My memory sucks.
You need to tell me who you're talking about.
Kirk, the actor. What's the actor's name?
Shatner.
He's trying to get Shatner's attention, and for some sort of video or something.
Yeah.
And Shatner won't give him the time of day, and they're both at this convention, and he couldn't ignore him any harder.
Well, by the way, I can give you a reason for that. William Shatner's a fucking asshole.
Okay. Well, in either case, it was really embarrassing and kind of cringy, and I felt really bad.
Yeah. No, Shatner's a dick.
But
this is no.
Yeah, but like looking at the wiki entry for this, you can see straight up who's there, and
Marina
his name
Sirtis,
is not there.
Jonathan Frakes is coming back.
Jonathan Frakes. What's her name?
You know what's really upsetting? I was like Jonathan. I'm like, who looks old as fuck? Marina Sirtis looks great. Jonathan Frakes looks old as fuck, right? He looks crazy old as fuck. He looks older now than Picard did in the show. Right? So I was like, I'm going to look at a photo of Jonathan Frakes to send to people because I'm saying this, and people are like, that's crazy. You know what you're talking about, right? And then this is Jonathan Frakes, right? You know what Jonathan Frakes looks like.
Yep.
He's old as fuck.
Old.
So I'm looking at this, and I'm like, oh my God. If you shave that man's beard off, do you know who that looks like?
Who?
That's my mom.
Oh.
My mom looks just like Jonathan Frakes.
That's really weird.
It's super weird.
Okay.
And I was talking, and I showed Paige the picture, and she's like, "Oh my god, that does look just like your mom."
Shout outs to everyone who's got my Jonathan Frakes emote.
Well, you have a Jonathan Frakes emote?
I sure do.
Why do you have a Jonathan Frakes emote?
It didn't happen.
Oh.
Complete fabrication.
Oh, no!
I teched that throw. No, you didn't. It didn't happen. Our writers made that one up. It's a complete fabrication. It didn't happen.
I loved watching that show. That's a great show. Ripley's Believe It or Not. It's fucking great. It's unsolved mysteries with a twist.
It's false.
I'm shocked that Jerry Ryan came back to Star Trek. Because apparently the only reason she took the job for Seven in the first place is that she had like an abusive thing with her husband, I remember, and he like pressured her into it or something. So like I'm kind of shocked she's back in Star Trek. She has not been back in Star Trek for anything since Voyager ended.
When's Whoopi?
Whoopi's alive, right?
I don't know. Wait, the real act? Yes,
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg is alive and hosting The View or whatever.
Oh, she can come back. She can fall through a time portal and be fine. Her character's a 5,000-year-old Chinese myth dragon.
Yeah,
So that's fine. Guinan's the shit. I'd love to see Guinan back. There's too much action in that trailer. It makes me nervous. For the Picard trailer, it makes me genuinely very nervous.
So here's the thing. Is it one of those bits where it's like, this is a one and done ski because it's the final story that's sending it all off? Or is it the opening of a new season that could then follow up with a second season that has even more TNG faces
I don't
and
know,
names?
man. These people are all on the verge of death.
Yeah, is it a slow, like, drip feed of all your faces, all the faces you love? You know, season 2, season 3 brings back...
Pulaski, no, she is dead. She is dead. She's a dead lady.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pulaski's fucking dead.
Yeah, I don't know. Will Wheaton.
No.
Well, anyway.
I feel a lot of sympathy for Will Wheaton. He's terrible, and he was terrible in the show. But it must have been a lot of pressure to be known as the worst part of Star Trek. Forever. Because he's the worst part of Star Trek. That's a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Would you prefer this be a new series with... If it's good, would you prefer this be a new series with multiple seasons, or would you prefer this be a single...
I'll take anything good Star Trek.
A single send-off?
No, I want it to be good and last because TNG has a problem in that TNG ended... It has a... I don't know if you ever watched All Good Things. It's a perfect ending.
Is that the last episode of the show?
The last episode of the show is a perfect ending. It is absolutely perfect.
And then they made movies.
And the movies all suck ass.
Okay.
So, like, we already had a perfect send-off, and they fucked it up. So, if you're going to make it... If you're going to keep...
Futurama kind of had that, yeah. Okay.
And the name of the episode is All Good Things.
Mm-hmm.
What an amazing name for the final episode of a great show. Like,
what was I going to ask? Yes. So we've confirmed that it's confirmed that Tarantino's still making his movie. Is that going to continue the movie verse?
I don't know, dude. I could talk. Tarantino's movie is what exactly?
An R-rated Star Trek movie.
Are you serious?
From what I've heard.
Is it old or new?
It's not out yet.
No, I mean, is it old? Is it the Prime universe or the offshoot universe?
Prime being Shatnerverse?
Yeah, let's say that.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That's baffling. That's baffling. Because you have your Prime universe, you have the new universe, the new movie universe, and then you have the mirror universe in which there's...
Oh, wait, sorry. No, I don't know. Okay. I'm not good with this shit because I don't know it. But I think it's about the era that is Kirk and people.
Okay, so the new movie stuff.
That's what I'm asking.
That would probably be
That's what I'm asking. I don't
that's
know.
the movie stuff.
Okay.
Because I'd love to see a fucking full-length feature film about the fucking mirror universe where everyone's got evil mustaches.
Either way, Tarantino's doing something. It's just whether or not it's continuing the you know.
I mean, you want to talk Star Trek continuity with me, you get fucking Eli on this fucking voice chat here. We fucking go. Because there's already serious fucking continuity problems.
Just asking.
They're talking about Data being fucking dead, but in the comic that leads into the feature film, Data's the captain of the Enterprise because they already fixed him with B-Force memories. So why would they be talking about... it's fucking Star Trek continuity, man! It's so fucked up! You ever see Parallels? That fucking episode ruined it! You see the new Red Letter Media?
No.
There's a moment in that Red Letter Media that I retweeted. I've put a timestamp. It speaks to my fucking soul. It's which they're talking about some bullshit kid movie. And Rich Evan goes, with all the kids running around, it's like that Star Trek episode. And Macaulay Culkin and Mike race to see who can get the name of the episode first, which is Rascals. At which point, the non-Star Trek nerd asks them, was Q involved in turning them all into kids? And then you get a vertical cut of Mike, Macaulay Culkin, and Rich all simultaneously going, no, it was the transporter. Okay? It burns in, Wooly.
My first question would 100% be...
Was that Q shenanigans?
Did Q do that? Because he's God, right?
Yeah, no, it was the transporter accident.
You want to talk timelines?
Yeah.
We can move away from this if you want. We can talk about other timelines. Like Terminator timelines.
Get the fuck out of my fucking face.
Dark Fate.
Get the fuck out of my fucking face with Terminator.
Produced by Cameron.
I don't care.
Starring Schwarzenegger.
It's not directed by fucking Cameron.
Directed by Deadpool guy.
Okay.
Starring Schwarzenegger.
Which one is this rewriting?
Starring Linda Hamilton.
Oh, it's this one, yeah.
And Edward Furlong as John Connor. It is literally the closest thing to Terminator 2 there has ever been. Is there a chance?
No.
Is there a prayer?
No.
Deadpool was good.
Was it? Yes, it was.
Cameron, Schwarzenegger, Hamilton, and Furlong were good. Like, you can't do... What else can you do if you tried all of it? And now we're back to the actual cast of Terminator 2.
Is Cameron directing?
No.
Then shut up. That's it. That's what you do.
I mean, did he write Terminator 2?
Yeah, he wrote it out of his... I don't know.
Or, like that's like...
Well, you have to go back in time to the 80s and make Terminator 3 in the 80s. Plague, I can't show him the fucking clip. It's like 2.5 minutes long.
What, Star Trek?
Yeah, he wants to...
I've moved on.
No, you haven't.
I'm good.
You can move on when me and Eli let you move on.
You will be allowed to move on. Yeah.
That show ended in like 96, and I still talk about it every day.
I mean, so Avatar came out and said, hey, Marvel, congrats on being the biggest shit ever. And then, like, it had, like, a picture of Tony Stark surrounded by the fucking things.
The jellyfish
things, and, like, whatever they were called. And they said a line in Avatar language. And I was just, and, like, it was the...
it's so fucking...
It was so weird. Because I was like... You're making a reference to something from so long ago.
It's fucking
that no one gets it.
It's so Hollywood incestuous. It's so bad.
I fucking chortle, dude. That moment. Let me pull this thing up. It's so nuts that like you actually can't remember anything about Avatar.
I can't remember anything about Avatar.
And so this story just fucking means nothing because it's like. It's Avatar was how long ago?
35 years ago.
55 years ago. 2012?
I don't know.
Oh.
I legitimately don't remember.
Oh, man.
I've never seen a movie so many times and remembered so little.
You've seen it more than once?
I've seen it 3 times.
I've seen it once in the theaters. That was it.
I saw it once in the theater, and I wanted to see it in the bigger IMAX 3D. And then somebody was watching it, and I watched it with them, like, at somebody's house.
That's crazy.
I remember nothing.
That is crazy to me that you even saw it more than once. How is like?
It looked really good in IMAX.
But you watched it flat? Like, how does that?
No, I couldn't get the tickets to the big IMAX thing. Like, that's fine. I'll watch it in the regular 3D theater. And I'm in the 3D theater. I'm like, this movie, I should have gotten the big IMAX thing. I should have waited.
So yeah, there's this tweet from James Cameron, and it says, "Congrats, Marvel Studios." Oh, from Avatar, from the Avatar account.
Yeah, from the Avatar itself.
And yeah, it says, "Oel Ngati Kameye. I see you, Marvel. Congrats on Avengers Endgame, yada, yada,
Go fuck
yada."
your own ass. How about that?
And I'm just like, was I see you a thing?
Yeah, it was. It was a thing.
Is that what they said to each other?
Yeah. It was a thing.
God. Fuck, has Avatar exited my entire consciousness.
That's fine.
It is, like, not even trace.
Do you remember the people getting like blue depression and be like, "I'll never"? Yeah,
post Avatar depression.
Yeah, that was
no,
weird.
no, not Avatar. It was the planet post Pandora.
Yeah.
Post Pandora depression.
That's correct.
Holy shit, man. Anyway, Terminator with all the old, still no chance, nothing.
No.
I mean, there is these shots of Linda Hamilton with the shades on, looking super old.
Oh, she's so cool, man.
She looks really cool.
Little Hamilton looks so cool.
Old lady with the fucking armor, looking all badass, looks really cool.
Old ladies are great.
That's why I want it. I
know.
But so then why?
Because it's gonna suck ass.
But she's old and cool.
Wooly, think of how many fucking awful Terminator movies you have seen, and how many good ones.
Look how old and cool she is.
I know. I saw. You have to show it to me. I know. She's just old Meryl now.
Yes. She's boss. She's Meryl. She's all of it.
She's Meryl and Snake's daughter from 70 years from now.
She's fucking tired.
Okay?
She's always tired.
Have you discovered, like, in your adult life that, like, your favorite thing about any character ever is their level of tiredness?
It's the best. It
is universally beloved by me.
It's the most relatable trait. Because fuck a character who's cooler than you and does backflips and
spunky and wants to get out there and be like, I'm going to take on the world.
Or even quick-witted and you're just like, you always got a great follow. I mean, yeah, Tony Stark's fun to listen to.
Yeah. But Tony Stark's better when he's tired.
But when you're tired.
You know when he's talking to the Guardians of the Galaxy in fucking the fucking Avenger movie and they're idiots and he just stares off for like 10 seconds? That's the best part of the movie because he's tired.
Yeah, I rewatched that part where, like, they have the Mexican standoff.
Yeah.
Where, like, he's going, like, where they all don't know what's going on, and they're trying to figure it out, and it's really strong. It's really good. Because, yeah, tired.
I don't
tired,
do
go
this.
up.
This is my day off from avenging.
Danny Glover started it.
He really did. He really did.
Danny Glover started it.
Wasn't tired. He was too old. But
when
you're old, you're tired.
Same thing. Post Malone sent it home. That's the new era. Tattooed. Always tired.
That's a great tattoo. Hey, I think face tattoos are fucking a bad idea. That one's pretty good.
That's what we landed on.
Because it's only going to become more accurate over time.
It's great. It's great.
How you feeling, man?
I want to believe. I want to believe that old grizzled Linda.
Yeah.
I want to believe her tiredness can outshine everything else in this movie. Because Arnold is not allowed to get tired because he's a robot.
But he's obviously much older, tired. Although, actually, no, I don't think he is. He got drop kicked and didn't notice. You saw that?
I did.
Some asshole drop kicked him and he thought somebody bumped into him.
He no-selled it.
And it's like, dude, you're like 85. How are you this tough?
Okay, so our plan to glaze failed.
Yeah, I know.
So.
I did a podcast, Coffee with Clems. Check it out this week. And I'm like, how long does your podcast usually go, Clems? He's like, I don't know, an hour and a half. I'm like, okay. So we did like 2 hours and didn't even get to talk about half the things we wanted to talk about.
I had the opposite because I was on Level Clear this weekend.
Yeah, I saw you, Nick retweeting it.
Started at 1 something, and by 5:30, I was starting to wrap up.
But what I'm trying to say, Woolies, we're chatty boys.
We chat.
We're chatty Cathys, if you would.
MCU Phase 4.
Okay, so they're going to put out some comic book movies, and some of them might be good. All right, so we're done with that news.
So there's the moment by moment, that Joe Blow did on it and whatnot, and that's all fine and dandy. But here's what you need to know: the final list. When I saw that, it really made me think that this could not have possibly been the initial plan.
Nope.
Right? This looks like a temp phase. So, first things first, Infinity Saga, yay, it's done. Eternals. What do we know about the Eternals?
I know that Angelina Jolie and Selma Hayek are going to be in it.
There's that.
And that's going to be okay by me.
What do I know about the Eternals?
I know nothing.
I know shit all about the Eternals. I know 3 things about the Eternals.
Okay.
3 things. I know that the Celestials made them.
Okay.
And those are the big, cool space gods in the Marvel universe.
Got it.
But not the same as, like, Eternity and all that stuff. That's another tier of space gods. These are the big, crazy ones.
Okay.
With the cool
like
textures.
Galactus?
Looks like the same style of being. Not the same, but yes. Celestials made the Eternals, and Thanos is one of them, and Ego is one of them.
Oh, okay.
And that's it.
It's a big deal gang.
That's it. Big deal gang. That's all I got.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
Angelina Jolie's a big deal in space.
There we go. Space Marvel happening hard and full.
Got it. Yeah, multiple full-on space movies.
It's surprising that, like, despite having that initial Guardians of the Galaxy, who the fuck cares about these guys thing, and now everyone cares.
Yeah.
I see Eternals and I go, who the fuck cares about the Eternals?
Don't you worry.
But no. But it's good. But it's good because new phase should be new things.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of weirdos in this list.
But not enough.
Well, and there's always not enough weirdos.
So Eternals, cool. Great. That's coming out. That's a movie.
Next,
Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's a pretty straight up name.
Yep.
Pretty dead on name for what you're getting.
Yeah.
And they, like, I guess they couldn't call it like Captain America and Winter Soldier because that would have been yeah. And what would have been fun is if they called it Captain America and Captain America.
Yeah.
Because that also would have been fun. And in the comics, they both took the shield up at a point in time. And there's arguments about that, so that'd be fun. But either way, that's happening. And
is that a TV show?
That's a Disney Plus TV show.
That's a TV show.
So here you go. TV show about the spinoff of the things you like. Now, Kevin Feige said this is about new beginnings and new things. And it's like, hey, here we go. Okay, spinoff 1 about the stuff. Great. TV show. 2, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Can't believe this happened.
I have no idea. Know nothing about it.
I know one thing.
I know one thing about it.
It's the Ten Rings have to do with the real Mandarin.
Oh. Okay, no, that's not what I know about.
Okay, what's the one thing
you know? What was that about?
So in the original Iron Man, there's a terrorist group that shows up, but
the
is
fake,
never
fake
dealt
Mandarin,
with.
yeah.
That has no. In the Iron Man 1, there's a terrorist group that never gets dealt with that has the insignia of 10 rings.
Yes.
And then in Iron Man 3, there's the fake Mandarin.
Yes.
But they have talked about in fucking interviews that there is totally a real Mandarin. They are going to do real Mandarin at some point in the future.
We just ignored that plot line from Iron Man 1.
No, they didn't ignore it. It was foreshadowing.
For 22 movies
That's
later.
right, foreshadowing.
Shang-Chi was basically willed into existence by the guy who was playing him, whose name I forget. However, he basically tweeted and went, Marvel, when do we get an Asian superheroes?
Are you fucking for real?
And then he had hashtag Shang-Chi. And then, like, yeah, and that was like a while ago.
Yeah.
And now he walks out on stage and he's like, yeah, I'm doing it.
What's this dude's name?
God, what is his name? Fuck.
What's this dude's name, gang?
Liu? Big silence while we wait.
Simu
Liu.
Okay.
Yeah, Simu Liu. So
good for you, man.
So then yesterday, yesterday he quotes that tweet and goes, "Hey Marvel, thanks for getting back to me." So he just tweeted it into existence.
So he just made it real.
Made it real.
Okay.
Out of nowhere, like that. Done.
Okay.
Shang-Chi.
Is that what the movie's going to be about?
Yep.
I made this movie real. Hey.
He can make copies of himself.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's a cool fighting ability for a martial artist.
Yeah, and maybe without the trauma of Multiple Man. Because Multiple Man, that's a bad time.
He retains all their memories, right?
Yep. I told you what happened.
I don't remember.
Multiple Man splits.
Yeah.
And at some point, they literally go off and live their own lives and have their own personalities and separate from each other for long-ass periods of time to the point where one gets married, has a child, and when the mother hands the child to the Multiple Man, the baby just absorbs back into him because he is a multiple. He is not real. That is not real. None of it is real.
Oh, that explains that character's backstory in Hero Academia.
And then that Multiple Man, that copy has to go back into the original as everyone does, and he gets all of these individual memories of them as they're in their own lives coming together as one. It's fucked.
That seems like a terrible power now.
Not great. Not great. So yeah,
let's ask Eli. Hey Eli, does TN have this same problem? What's
Yeah.
up with TN's shit?
And all like that is the most interesting thing I've ever heard about the character.
It's really bad.
Horrifying. But that's good writing on an otherwise, like, it's a guy in tights that makes copies of himself. Okay, but put that in the hands of someone who's got a good idea. And you get that shit out of it. And that's the difference between that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
A good writer will do that with a character that's otherwise worthless, you know? Anyway. WandaVision, which takes place after Endgame.
Yeah. And it's in the 50s.
So all hard bets are that we're going to find out what her powers actually do, and that she's probably going to pull a little House of M and make a little pocket world for herself.
Well, also, is that before or after Strange?
I don't know.
Because Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness...
We'll get there. WandaVision, Wanda and Vision.
Yeah, but WandaVision, because it's old, it's like a TV.
I think so.
Yeah.
But there's also, like, there's set shot. I think it was that there was shots from the set that looked like they were old-timey.
Paul Bettany wants to be a character again.
Yeah, I think they're making her have her own pocket reality.
Somebody in the chat said, I guess it's a spoiler, but Vision's fucking dead. When has that stopped comic books, my friend?
Yeah. So, what exactly... Why'd you stop scrolling? Don't do that. Hey, fuck. God damn it, Internet.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What's happening over there?
So, yeah. So then there's WandaVision. And...
Oh, there's the Loki TV series.
And there's
a
Loki.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, all the letters are different fonts. So.
Those both logos are terrible, but
but you know who's not terrible?
Who's that?
Loki.
Loki's not terrible.
In fact, he's great. He stole the show so hard that he had to be killed multiple times.
He stole the show so hard that they had to start like fucking course correcting on his character to make him less evil, because you gotta keep him around. He's the best. He's the best.
It's the power of Hiddleston.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
It's a real face turn from kneel before your gods, humans.
Probably, but will it work in a TV budget with no one notable around him in a supporting cast?
Depends. I just want this to be Quantum Leap.
This is just... The concern is ultimately that all of these characters in a TV show budget without any other supporting cast of the same quality.
I imagine some are going to sink and some are going to swim.
Maybe. I hear good things about Legion and whatnot, you know, and so on, but that's Fox, I know, but regardless. Yeah... Whatever. TV.
You want to talk about weird-ass timing? You want to talk about the fucking Black Widow movie?
No, because next is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
This is a title that would be terrible if not for the extremely Lovecraftian feelings you get from that title.
That is they know. That is the intent.
Yes.
Of that.
Furthermore, when they talked about what it's going to be, that was interesting because they said, like every MCU movie, Doctor Strange was funny, and so we don't want to lose that part of things but it's also part of the formula now in a way. But this is going to be the first MCU movie that's also horror.
Yeah.
And apparently, this is going to kick off and introduce a crazy multiverse concept that will be a part of this phase.
There were a bunch of things that we'll get to later, but so we don't have time to talk about them, and just mentioned the 10 movies that they're making. Right? The Multiverse of Madness movie with Doctor Strange. First of all, yeah, if you're gonna do multiverse thing, have the wizard, right? But like, this answers every single question you could ever have about all the converging media brands under Disney. How do the X-Men... it's multiverse. How do the Deadpool... it's the multiverse.
I mean, Endgame already introduced the concept.
Yeah. And apparently Spider-Man also does as well to some degree.
And then let's not forget that there is now literally a Netflix verse, which is separate from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. verse, which Coulson walked out of one and into the other.
Yeah, he can do that.
Anyway, so that happened. Then we got What If, which is really cool.
It's literally just called What If.
Didn't expect that. That's fun. I read so many What If comics as a kid.
Yeah.
I got really into What If. And
what do you want this to be?
Well, it sounds like what it is what it's going to be, which is Spider-Verse, except Marvel's version.
Yeah.
Because they realized with Spider-Verse that, like, hey, that was pretty good. You can do that. That was fun. We can have a lot of fun with that. And you know who's really cool? Bernard from Westworld, season 1, a.k.a.
he's
the only
really,
season.
He's cool.
Yep.
He's a cool man.
Bernard from Westworld is good.
Oh, what's he doing in that?
Jeffrey Wright is playing the voice of the Watcher.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So, while Stan Lee was credited as Uatu, and was in the... I'm rehashing so much of the conversation I had from the podcast yesterday, actually, I'm realizing. But anyway, Stan Lee was credited as Uatu, talking to the other Watchers in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So we can take that for what it is, with them nodding to him possibly being a Watcher by showing up in all these places. But Jeffrey Wright is the actual Watcher who introduces every What If comic and says, what if this were to happen over here? And then you go into those stories, and now we can have so much fun because you can do anything with all these characters that you're too scared to do in the movies.
No stakes.
And they're all being voiced by their proper real-life counterparts. So, basically...
So is it a TV show? Is it a movie?
Animated series.
Okay, because, anime. Okay.
But this makes sense.
Yeah.
Because this is now episodic.
It can be all sorts of stupid shit.
Yeah, that's basically where was it JLA ended up? I think where like the animated Justice League was like a bunch of just disconnected stories and whatnot. So you can just jump around like this, you know? That's really, really cool. But yep, that's the TV thing. And then there's Hawkeye. So once again, TV show. Once again, spin-off of the character from the thing, you know, but it's not the big three, so yada yada yada. Sure. Okay. Kate Bishop's in it. One thing I really enjoy about this, it's the logo from the Matt Fraction Hawkeye book, which is really, really good because that's a fun adventure with just.
Is that the one with the dog and he's like, ugh.
Clint with the dog in the apartment in New York, just bumming around.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Really good. Yeah. So hopefully they take that tone, and it's not necessarily the Ronin years, even though the Ronin years would be really cool.
Ronin years are done. We did them. We
don't
saw
really
those.
It doesn't need to thing. But Hawkeye, Thor, Love and Thunder.
Well, now this is interesting.
Very interesting because basically Chris Hemsworth is in it, and Tessa Thompson is in it.
That being Valkyrie's actress?
Yes, Valkyrie and Thor. but neither of which are going to be actually Thor, because it seems like they're going the route of the Mighty Thor. And the Mighty Thor is the new Thor in the comics, who's a girl.
Yep.
And Thor becomes a title as opposed to the name of the person.
Yeah, because somebody picks up the hammer, they usually get all the beefy.
And then Thor becomes the unworthy. And so in this case, that person is going to be none other than Natalie Portman, who got that huge credit at the end of Endgame.
I remember.
For a clip that was
from a different movie.
From a different movie. and who was in 1 and 2, but then wasn't in the others.
So
and,
I always pulled this idea out of my ass, but I felt that the reason why Natalie Portman started to bail on the Thor franchise was because she wanted this storyline faster.
So what I heard yesterday, actually, I thought that she just didn't like the superhero thing and didn't want to do it. Someone pointed out to me, Tough, actually, from the Level Clear podcast, pointed out that apparently the reason why she walked away is because they had an original director. Originally, they had a director that she supported that was a girl that got fired for, I guess, reasons that weren't clear. And she was really upset about that. Basically, and didn't,
because this would have made this would have had a lot more kick to it if Natalie Portman had actually stuck around for more of this stuff and been set up more.
But I think, like, the feeling of her not wanting to be involved after that controversy happened, like, her getting that credit at the end for the recycled scene means this was on paper.
Oh, absolutely.
Before Endgame.
This was signed and dotted.
And so that's why she's like, yeah, okay, I'm back in, you know? Like, her returning to the fold 100% comes in with her getting the hammer on stage here. So it's still Taika Waititi, so Love and Thunder.
So it'll be fine.
So it'll be fine.
They also made sure to point out that I think Valkyrie in this is going to be the big gay.
Yep.
First.
Yep.
And I'm like, really? That's the first? That's not.
If you don't count the Russo brother that played the guy at the meeting in Infinity War, because there's a meeting where they talk about the blip.
That is. No, they meant superhero. It's going to be the first openly gay Marvel superhero.
Yes. And so she's the new king of Asgard, right? Of course. And so. Yeah, so there's her. There's I forgot Natalie Portman's character's name, but anyway.
Jane.
Yeah,
Jane something.
So she's gonna be back, and then there's going to be. Did I see that Goldblum's on the list as well?
He is.
Goldblum's on the list. So he's around too.
Yay!
Big yay.
I love Jeff Goldblum so much.
Doesn't.
Everyone does. He's the best.
Jane Foster. Big Goldblum. That's real, by the way. I listened to, there's an episode of Goldblum
he never
sitting down with Conan O'Brien doing an interview on his podcast, and he's not putting that on as a thing. It is 100% him, and they just make the role morph around him.
This is a compliment, but it won't sound like one. But if you know Jeff Goldblum, you'll understand. Jeff Goldblum is the worst actor of all time. He is completely unable to assume any role or character other than Jeff Goldblum. However, Jeff Goldblum is Jeff Goldblum, and that's okay.
But doesn't that also define all the best actors like Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson?
It's just infinite charisma just shooting out,
and Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
like these are all people that are an Al Pacino. Like you're a parody of yourself to the point where it's not about the role; it's about you existing in this universe.
Yeah.
So that's happening, and yeah, Love and Thunder sounds like the way the logo looks and the way that sounds. It's carrying on the Ragnarok feeling.
Goofy Space Adventures,
right? Ragnarok feeling as opposed to Thor 1-2 feeling.
Good.
Yes. Because Thor's up to the Goofy Space Adventures, so there's another Thor.
That'll probably be a portion of a Guardians movie as well.
Yeah. He's hanging out.
Yeah.
Black Widow
is in a movie.
Is it? Well, Black Widow fights...
Oh, it's not a movie?
Black Widow... Well, first of all, they released some shots of the villain.
They did not release those shots.
It's a
somebody on a set took those photos.
No. There's an official promo piece of Black Widow fighting Taskmaster, baby. Task fucking Master coming in. So
is there?
Just like Cap. Best part of Spider-Man PS4, one of the best parts of Marvel 3. Taskmaster is awesome and confirmed to be the enemy that Black Widow fights. So that's really, really cool. Really, really
Taskmaster is super cool.
Taskmaster's the best!
He's so good. So when I saw that was Taskmaster, I'm like, ooh, that's a comic book weirdo.
Yeah, this might be a girl in the armor. Mm-hmm. They're not sure because we don't know enough about what's going on.
Who cares?
But either way, if it's I studied your move, Sonya.
Yeah.
If it's the same fucking dude, like power and ability, like I love it.
I'd like for them to play up the new thing about Taskmaster, which is the Taskmaster's debilitating memory problems. You see that?
No.
So it's from one of the recent run of Taskmaster in which somebody's like, why are you bothering to be a good guy to his daughter? And he's like, and he explains that his photographic reflexes are like a memory ability, but they mean that his long-term memory is constantly being deleted to make room for every new thing that
like the thing I said about fighting games?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's fast. It's like on a month-long basis. So he has like debilitating, crippling memory problems all the time.
While he's learning about how while he's improving his fighting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that.
Because he's able to gain things instantly, but that means old stuff comes out instantly.
Goes away. Yeah, okay. That's really fun. Huh.
And also explains, like, why is he such an asshole? Oh, because he literally doesn't remember anything. Ever.
Even without that detail, Taskmaster's still awesome.
Yeah, he's still great.
Still fucking cool. So, yeah, that's fun. Skeleton face, man in a hood and a sword.
He's not going to have a skeleton face, though.
No, we saw the armor. We saw the art.
I know.
But it's a
Paige was simultaneously extremely excited and extremely disappointed all in one moment.
Is that basically like...
She's a Taskmaster fan now.
It's Alzheimer's.
She's got a fucking t-shirt now.
It's Alzheimer's as a superpower.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the last thing they did was, on a final note, Kevin Feige comes out and says...
Just one last thing.
We didn't have any time to talk about
and then
Black Panther 2.
Yay.
Guardians 3.
Yay.
Fantastic 4.
What?
Marvel 2. Captain Marvel 2. Or Mutants.
And then everyone...
But we have one more person to come out.
And then Cottonmouth walked out.
Mahershala Ali walks out and puts
You're like, Luke Cage movie?
Like, dude, if you had to pick a single human being on this planet to pick up where Wesley Snipes left off.
Yeah.
Who the fuck else are you going to pick right now? Right? That is the most on-point cast. Like, it's the new Wesley.
Yeah.
It's the new Wesley, straight up.
So Blade is
you got the voice.
Is going to happen.
You got the voice, you got the attitude.
Yep.
That's Blade. Blade is coming back.
Blade coming in has so many exciting things in my mind. Which is, you know how Doctor Strange is like, okay, I don't have time to go save New York or whatever. I got this universe thing going on. Blade coming in and be like, please, there's so many vampires. Can you guys...
yeah.
Can you...
Nah.
Please, guys, there are so many vampires.
Morbius is having a blood orgy as we speak.
Like,
not my problem.
Can I get an assist on the vampire thing?
Not my problem.
Dude, guys. It also means, and I've been browsing our old subreddit to see stuff. It also means that this sets up Moon Knight going to the moon to beg Dracula for his money back.
Will this be PG-13 though?
Oh, come on. Blade at anything less than R-rated is a travesty.
That's what I'm...
And Deadpool established you can have R-rated movies.
But that's what I'm afraid of, right? What if they fuck that up? You know?
That'd be terrible.
Yeah. So the problem is ultimately when we look at this list, right? And you got the big old, like, this is Phase 4. Bah. And you look at the big picture. One, this spans 2020 to 2021.
Yeah.
The entire Phase 4 is 2 years.
Yeah.
That is not the way the previous phases went.
It's also a holding pattern. It's all introduction or what if or alternate or...
More than half of these are TV shows.
Yeah.
Right? The previous phases were all 6 movies apiece. And then the third phase was more than 6. But looking at this list, it's like you got The Eternals, which is new shit. You got Shang-Chi, which is new shit. And then, there's Blade, right? But like they didn't, but that's not part of what they're saying is this phase, you know? Like that's all.
Yeah.
Right? So the way he talked about all of this stuff, it makes me think they had a plan for a longer, more normal-looking Phase 4.
Yes.
Then the fucking Disney deal happened.
And they reacquired everything they ever had.
And they took the table and emptied it the fuck onto the floor.
They all of a sudden got all the X-Men and Doctor Doom back.
The whole game plan
Apparently Fantastic Four exists as well, but whatever.
The whole game plan went right in the trash. And then they went, Phase 4 is now a micro phase. It's a mini 2-year thing, and it's all about these TV shows, and we'll get one or two things in there. And then 5 is where we get the things you were expecting. Like, because people were saying for a while, Phase 4 better be mutants.
No.
Better be, you know?
Phase 4 sets the metaphysical boundaries to explain why Wolverine can just walk into a store, right?
Well, is it? I mean, I'm thinking.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but like new cast, whatever.
Right. You know what? You know what I want to happen desperately.
Hugh Jackman.
No. But for all this crossover stuff, you know how they're going to set up,
Sure.
multiverse stuff. I was talking with some people last night. We were all giggling about it. I want for the new Avengers, whatever, and for Ryan Reynolds in the suit to just walk into a shot with a Detective Pikachu T-shirt on.
Sure.
And go, hey guys.
Yeah.
And they go, oh hey Wade.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
And I want it to be a totally static, flat shot, like it's weird looking, and then the movie to continue as normal and Deadpool's there now.
Should Wolverine be a short Canadian in yellow tights? In yellow tights.
Yes.
Okay.
The time has come.
So when I look at this list, right, and you see it like he goes, it's all about the new beginnings and whatnot. And it's like, no, this is all about continuing the spin-off franchises for the non-big 3 characters. What I would much rather, because what I wanted the proper new phase to actually be, what I was hoping for, is more shit like Eternals and Shang-Chi, where it's just like, hey, yo, guess what? Moon Knight. Guess what?
A lot of sad people that know Moon Knight.
Guess what? She-Hulk.
Yeah.
That's a character you can do a thing on, right? Doctor Doom's probably going to matter and show up somewhere in all of this.
I feel Doom's probably going to be the big Phase 5 man.
Maybe might even get Strange Doom going on, and we can get them going to hell and doing the fun shit.
Yeah.
Hidden missiles. But like Moon Knight could be, you could take away one of these TV shows and put a Moon Knight logo there.
You could.
You could take away one of these and put a She-Hulk logo there. You could take away one of these and put a Nova logo there, right?
Fuck Nova. Nova sucks.
Nova's cool. You could. There's a lot that there's a bag of tricks you can reach into and pull out a lot of new names.
Wooly, they got to keep making these movies for 40 years.
But
when you're old, you can get your Moon Knight movie.
Yeah, it's just that like I think a lot of these like Jeremy Renner gets his own show, and then Scarlett gets her own show, and and so on and so forth. They get like a big sort of side payoff, but it would be, I would like it. I would if like the whole like, oh, these actors retiring and ending their contracts of these characters almost. I would not mind if we would get to look at some people returning sometimes, but spending more time with some of these new characters that you can establish, you know. So that's the one thing is I wish it wasn't so familiar of a list.
Yeah, well, it will be for this batch.
Yeah. Power Man. Yeah.
They're gonna slide over, but it's gonna be a slower slide than you and I want.
I mean, MCU Luke Cage, save him from the Netflix verse.
I think
Squirrel
casting
Girl,
an existing Marvel character as a different Marvel character is probably the weirdest thing about all this.
Michael B. Jordan.
Was he in?
He was Human Torch in the new
Oh,
Thor.
but that was different. That was a different. Oh, but so was the other Human Torch. Actually, come to think of it, both Human Torches became different characters.
Yes, Chris. Both of them. Okay.
That's weird.
Punisher Warzone.
Yeah.
You know, he's the dude from Asgard from Thor. He's the.
Who are you talking about?
Okay. After Thomas Jane, the second Punisher was.
I don't know, some guy.
I'm terrible with fucking names, so I can't do this on the spot. Whatever.
Punished Man.
He's Volstagg in Thor.
Who's Volstagg?
One of the Knights of Asgard.
Oh, yeah.
Ray Stevenson.
Who cares about those people?
The point remains, you want to talk about MCU faces that are the same actor.
Yeah, but this was an MCU character becoming a different MCU character. None of those old things were MCU films. But they just wrote out the TV universe, I guess, with this. Daredevil never happened. Shh.
Anyway, well, is this MCU though? Is Netflix
Yes.
MCU?
Yes, it is. No,
it's not.
That's
so
what I mean.
then your sentence fails.
No, I said that those old things. Oh yeah. Oh, you're You're right. Yeah, Cottonmouth didn't exist.
Done.
Luke Cage never happened.
Nope.
Jessica Jones never got wasted.
Nah.
Nuh-uh.
When they just said big green guys, they literally just meant big green guys.
Can we get a fucking Purple Man back then? Because Purple Man's the shit.
David Tennant's cool.
He's so cool.
Yeah, man. Let's get some more new freaks in this.
Can you imagine if a Purple Man walking into an Avengers movie and go fight each other? It's like, okay, it's the end of the movie. Everybody died.
We need some more freaks. We need some more weird picks. Freak picks. Get them out there.
Moon Knight's not a freak pick. He's just some dude.
We don't need all these follow-up TV shows, but Disney Plus really wants your Netflix money. They really, really want your Netflix money.
The more they split these shows amongst other things, the less anyone's going to get any Netflix money.
And we're probably going to get like Secret War at some point, you know. But
holy shit, that'd be the dumbest. I'll watch it.
Yeah, the problem with all these services is now the problem that Netflix came along and kind of solved is being recreated by TV channels that don't understand that this is the reason why it failed to begin with. TV died because people had to go all these different places.
And spend all this extra money. It was inconvenient.
But hey, by all means, come along and create a whole new fucking set of channels people have to individually subscribe to monthly.
I'm sure they'll won't be able to find any new, more convenient option.
Everyone will love that they have to subscribe to Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, NBC, ABC, and now Disney Plus.
I'm sure you forgot like 5. I can't think of any, but I'm sure you did.
At $6 to $13 a month.
Individually. Even though you only want to watch one show on them.
Like, I throw names out there, like The Runaways, and then someone reminds me, like, oh, yeah, that show did happen. Yeah. It was exclusive to...
some bullshit that you're never going to watch.
Yeah, so... Anyway. Emails, and let's get out of here.
Hey, emails. Hey, if you want to send an email, send it to castlesuperbeast@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeast@gmail.com. Wooly, what do we got emails-wise this week? You got anything cool?
Yeah, we do.
I am so hungry, and I don't have much time to eat. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm starving as well. I'm very hungry, so let's.
I'm gonna eat my own arm. That reminds me. Somebody recently told me that there was a troll naming convention in some fantasy universe in which the troll is named... RuneScape! In RuneScape, trolls are named after the thing they try to eat first. And there's a super tough troll that you have to fight called Dad.
That's fun. That's cool. I like that. I like fun naming conventions.
Yeah.
We got one coming in from Nick. He says, Dear Castle, subpar beats. 4 years ago on the old podcast, I jokingly sent an email calling out Wooly for hating breakfast. Speaking of eating things.
Yeah.
Which is... Wooly said he's cool with everything except eggs. 2 years later, I have developed an egg intolerance. Now eating them makes me feel nauseated upward up to 3 hours, despite trying multiple types of egg seasonings and cooking methods. I spent a lot of time. I refuse to say how much. Not only this, I started thinking intermittent fasting and no longer eat breakfast either. So this email is me calling myself out for calling out Wooly for being a breakfast hater 4 years ago, because now I can't even eat breakfast even though I want to. Yeah, that shit happens, and guess what? Childhood associations with something that makes you sick or gross is all it takes for you to hate that thing for life.
If you put an orange bucket in front of me, I'm probably going to throw up.
An orange bucket?
That's right. If you were to place an orange bucket on the floor next to me, I might vomit.
Is that what was that your bucket?
That was the bucket,
the sick bucket
that you threw up into whenever you got sick, and it was the same bucket from 2 to 18.
There you go. Okay. Yeah.
Just seeing it, like, because you know, and at a certain point, your mom realizes, like, oh, he looks sick. He'd probably feel better if he threw up. Just take the bucket out and just, now I'm gonna be sick.
Yep. Rotten egg salad.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll
do it
for life.
Yep.
We got one coming in from Lauren. Says, "Hey Castle Super Beast, Hey Castle Super Beast, where there's no castle and I see no beasts. Longtime fan since you
I'm the beast.
Stuck a camera in front of your TV and I thought it was revolutionary shit. What is your opinion on games that use a single type of currency? A currency is not only used for purchasing items, but has other functions as well. Pat, you recently streamed The Sinking City on Twitch. Hashtag on brand.
Bullets are money.
Yeah, you use bullets to kill things, and in addition, a bartering currency. You can shoot the thing or buy the thing. Souls games have souls as currency, where you buy items and gear. This is all, and also level up. This is also done in older DMC games with Rorbs, but moves permanent power-ups and can temporarily help you now. So, can you think of other games that use this system?
I can't. Metro is the number one with a bullet.
Yeah.
Metro has military-grade bullets that you use as currency, which are way, 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 way stronger than regular bullets.
It's interesting because at the end, it's all just a surface-level feeling that doesn't actually... Like, you'll get the thing at the time that the game wants you to get the thing, right?
Yeah.
So whether or not you get the sword from the shopkeep that's too expensive, but you get enough money when you beat that boss, or the boss drops it, or it's an item you pick up on the way to that boss, like, you're going to get it around the time the game thinks you should get it.
Yeah.
Should you choose, in some cases. But, like, we're playing Sekiro, and, like, I noticed the thing about how every time you have to... every time you want to move up on the new abilities list, it takes multiple levels, right? You have to spend all these levels, and it feels worse than if you just had to do it once.
Yep.
So if you made that bar take longer to fill, but then you get one, and you can spend that point to move up one on that chart, it would feel way better than having to fill up that bar 6 times to move up once, right? It is a feeling thing that you're presenting it in a different way. So that sucks.
I think using currency for stuff like that, I think it's great in Metro because it's so well integrated into the game's like universe. It makes perfect sense. I think for every other situation ever, including Metro, I know this is going to be confusing. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. All it is, and pretty much everybody I've ever talked to that plays games like this, nobody uses Guild Toss.
Yeah.
You're throwing money on the fucking floor. Why would you do that? Well, it kills the boss. Yeah, but the money, though. It just ends up, like, causing people to hoard these items because they're currency.
Unless there's a really, really good payoff for doing it.
Unless it's overpowered.
Dr. Faust gives you more money for doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
I still can't use Dr.
I know.
Faust.
Mentally you can't.
I can't do it.
I know. But...
That's a wasted weapon slot.
It's not.
It is.
It's a way to make a lot of money.
They knew people were crazy.
They
decided to make a
They
crazy
gave
weapon.
you extra slots for your weapons and then when you beat the game. Fuck off.
No, I mean they could have made a weapon that everyone could use.
Well, everyone can use that weapon.
No, you stop it. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Get good, make money.
No.
Get good, make money. It's
but
all
it
all
has
positive.
To use money to use it.
It's all positive.
No, it's
but
not.
You make back more.
No, but you're still losing it to use it.
No, but then you make back more.
But that doesn't matter. You still lost it in the first place.
But you know the outcome.
But the number went down.
But then it went up.
But it went down.
But you know the outcome.
I don't care.
You know the outcome.
I don't care. It went down.
You will always make more. Did you have to spend money to eat food this morning?
No, because I haven't eaten anything. I'm super hungry.
Did you have to spend money to eat food to stay alive?
Yeah.
Did you have to spend money to get here?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, is that money now working towards... Is it going down?
Yeah, but that implies there are places that I could eat for fucking free every day. And if there were, I would.
You get options. you can eat for free in Devil May Cry, or you can take the big risk and get the big reward. But
but your analogy sucks. If there was a fucking cafeteria I could go to and just eat for free every single fucking day and never have to spend any money, I would do it.
you got to spend money to make money, Pat. That's what I'm trying to say. You got to spend money to make money. There's a reason why that saying exists.
Number goes down.
You spend the money, you make the money.
Number go down.
I'm not going to approve of and push the idea that your mind goblin should affect game designs. Fuck you. Dr. Faust is great.
Other people have their own mind goblins, and this is a common mind goblin.
The number goes down, and then it comes back so much higher. But I hate the temporary down.
Went down. Don't you roll your eyes. We'll find a mind goblin for you.
How do you deal with any games where you get a huge damage buff by dropping your life to 0?
Life to 0?
Or to 1?
That depends. Like in Demon Souls, it's crazy good.
Like, that shit is always really great where you just become a glass cannon.
Yeah, that's very good.
How do you deal with that?
You just do it if you want to.
But you're not
It's
topped
not
off.
currency.
Anyway.
Currency is not life bars, Wooly.
You talked about the problem with the powers topping off in Dishonored
Yeah.
as an issue because it never goes back to completion.
Yeah, because that's a currency. It's not a life bar.
Okay.
Life bar is a life bar.
Okay. Wasn't it a magic bar?
Yeah, it was a magic bar.
Yeah, it's not.
That's a resource.
Okay.
It's clearly totally different.
Even if at the end of every encounter, you will be in the positive. You'll be in the black.
That's correct.
Okay. From Charlie, Castle Super Beast. 4 years ago, I asked a question about these unreleased games, and I made you choose one, cancel, choose one to delay, and at least 2 years to magically release one, suddenly ready and finished.
All right, what do we got? What were our
Release
choices?
now, delay for years, or cancel. Back then, it was Death Stranding, Cyberpunk 2077. Excuse me. It was Last Guardian, Beyond Good and Evil, and Half-Life 3. Your answers were cancel Last Guardian, release Half-Life 3, delay Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Wow, I got everything that I wanted. Great.
My answers were release The Last Guardian. Wait, no, you didn't.
What? That was sarcasm. That was sarcasm.
Okay, my answers were...
It was the opposite of what I wanted.
My answers were release The Last Guardian, delay Beyond Good and Evil, and cancel Half-Life 3.
Hey, Wooly won! Fuck you!
So, we have a new game. Today I want you to do the same, but with a devious twist. 1, release now. 2, delay for years. 3, cancel. 4, Epic snagged it and made it a PC exclusive.
Okay.
Timed for 1 year.
All right.
Then it'll be out on normal platforms.
All right, what do we got? What are the 4 games?
Death Stranding.
Okay.
Cyberpunk. Hollow Knight Silksong. Last of Us Part 2.
Okay, Last of Us Part 2, cancel it.
Yep. Agreed.
Silksong, make it Epic exclusive. Death Stranding, delay. Death Stranding, release it right now. And Cyberpunk, delay.
I say delay Silksong for years. I say cancel Last of Us. That ending was fine. I'm okay with that.
Everybody agrees to cancel Last of Us.
Yeah. I don't even know why it's on this list as if it's in the same calendar.
It's to help. It's to help make the other choices easier.
Then I would say release. God, which one?
See, the thing release, like Death Stranding becomes a Epic Store exclusive. It kind of makes no sense. Neither does Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
They're both owned by publishers.
Yeah. But if I had to, I would say release. God.
Because here's the thing. If I say Death Stranding gets an Epic Store exclusive, does that mean I get to play Death Stranding on the PC?
Yeah.
Because that's a win.
Yeah.
Overall.
And then Cyberpunk comes out now normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Release Cyberpunk,
Yeah,
Epic exclusive, Death Stranding,
Silksong delay it.
Sing Song delayed, and because
release Cyberpunk right now. Put Death Stranding on the Epic Game Store so that I can get a PC version of Death Stranding. That'd be really good. That's a win overall.
Yeah, and the reason, and if anyone is mad about the Silk Song, here's my thought: you just got a whole lot of Hollow Knight already.
Yeah, there's a lot of Hollow Knight.
You're good.
We can wait. Take
You're
your time
good.
on Silksong.
These other things are new.
Last of Us, whatever.
Get out of here.
That game's gonna be good, but yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah, compared to those three, fuck that. So there we go. That's fine. We have consensus.
Yeah. See, we tricked you with we loopholed your question.
We got one coming in from Kenneth, who says, "Dear Green and Red, what are your favorite black of blocks blurbs?"
Wow.
Now that you're older and more experienced, can you spot them as huge bullshit, lies, or cause for concern? We all know blast processing was a bullshit term by a Sega marketing guy, and certain games tried to call their 30 FPS game frame rate more cinematic than 60 FPS.
I would always worry about games that advertise the amount of levels on the back. That was always a fucking...
I always used to be a sucker for characters, the amount of playable characters is the thing, because that's like, oh, game variety, you know. But I never used to really read back a box. It was all about the bullshot.
The bullshots are outrageous.
It was all about the bullshot.
Shit was crazy.
Yeah.
I remember looking at the back of boxes and just being like, that's not real. It's just not real.
Hey, Super Beasts, Garrett from Alabama here. Your recent talks about Ava had me thinking about the creator of Gundam, Tomino, and his disdain for Gunpla and other Gundam merchandise.
What?
He said before that he acknowledges the popularity boost and the cultural effect the toys had, but at the end of the day, he feels less people think about the anti-war message and more about the awesome designs from the franchise's war machines. What are your thoughts on creator intent overshadowing the different parts of the media like Gundam?
You made cool robots. You can't hate on people for liking the cool robot parts. I understand that the anti-war message is incredibly important. It's very similar to how people will play through the Metal Gear games and be like, oh my god, Snake, so I want to buy a Snake action figure. But then you're like, well, what about the system for societal sanity and the context and creation of the internet? And they're like, the what now? You mean the part where the Campbell went nuts? And you're like, oh.
If it doesn't interfere with the creation of the work, like if there's not a toy editor coming in and saying, hey, Mainframe, you better kill off that fucking Tigatron Air Razor thing because that toy's not coming out and we're not selling anything on this character, so that better fucking go. Like a Hasbro motherfucker. Then yeah, fuck that. If you're coming in and editing what's happening in the show because you want to sell toys in that way, that's horseshit. That's garbage.
Well, they did that in Gundam Original.
The colors and so on and so forth. Yeah, I don't like that part of things. But if the thing is as is, untouched, and then merch comes out afterwards, it's fine. But there is obviously a weirdness to, like, I don't know, if you're like,
I'm Gendo Akari and I need a close shave.
Patchy fan, right? The Journey Patchy slot game. You know, like there's a weirdness to that you can cross.
Like Evangelion was really obviously not influenced by merchandise in its airing.
Yeah.
Only to become like the dominant merch force for a decade.
It's insanely popular, of course.
And like now, like there's a merch, I'm going to call it like a merch universe in which everyone's happy and nice to each other. And it's like, it's baffling. It couldn't be less about the thing it's supposed to be about.
Yeah. And I'd say that Merchiverse went on to make its own books and like
movies,
worlds that are like happy.
Yeah.
And yay.
That's weird.
But anyway. And let's take one from Russian name that I cannot pronounce.
Good, that's a good one.
Called Toxicity.
Hey, Toxic. What up?
No. His name's not Toxicity. The subject of the email is Toxicity.
Hey, what's up, Toxic Russian man?
Toxic Russian man says, it's the best. Fuck you all for wanting to make games fucking bouncy houses.
Yeah.
That's how you get fucking Overwatch and meta banning strats in Rainbow Siege.
Okay. You're fucking super mad because you team killed somebody in Rainbow Six, aren't you?
Dude.
You're super fucking mad.
I mean, the idea that somewhere out there there's Russian gamers that are thriving on toxicity is a plausible,
I'd say that's
believable
plausible.
world.
Absolutely.
And God bless.
Every time I see somebody freak shitting over that, if you dig one layer underneath, just one layer underneath, it's always, I got in trouble for doing some bullshit and now I'm mad. Every single time.
All right. So yeah, once again, you can pimp what you're doing this week.
I'm streaming twitch.tv/AngrySpat. It's 8 o'clock on Tuesday and Friday Eastern. It's going to be video games.
Yep. I've updated my schedule for those who haven't caught on, but what I'm doing from now is The plan is to stream fighting games, get into fighting games on Tuesday nights.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday nights I stream one-offs with Reggie and Min, and then Saturday nights I stream a bigger game.
Yeah, like a plot.
A thing that has multiple parts. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's an extra day.
what?
That's an extra day.
I put in an extra day. Yeah. So like last Saturday we did Sekiro, and before that was like some of those one-offs I mentioned exactly, and then of course the LPs continue on the main
Unabated
thing. So that's what's going down over at Woolly Versus, and of course once again, Com Bravo, JoJo Jeopardy, come check it out. It's gonna be a good time.
Okay, you gonna call it JoJo Jeopardy? You gonna call it JoJopardy?
Both. The name of the event is going to be JoJo Jeopardy on the schedule.
Okay, so it's readable.
But I will have a screen with a proper JoJopardy.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if I should call it JoJopardy or Geopardy.
Oh, these are awful. This is an awful decision you have to make.
Big decision, big pun time.
All right, I'm gonna go eat a food.
Yeah,
you guys have a good rest of your Monday or Tuesday,
and
or
never
whatever day it is.
forget that as of episode 27 of Castle Super Beast, we solved King Crimson.
We saw. Don't you mean Gold Experience?
Yes.
Never forget, huh?